Hey y'all, hey, what's going on? We're about to get into this. Give me a second. Hope everybody's feeling good, feeling great, all of that good stuff. Yeah, come on in here, share, invite, vote. We got a lot to talk about. Oh my gosh. Hey, in the beginning was the word spoken. Hold on, let me get this link. Because I always forget to get the link. So we're definitely going to let uh everybody sound off tonight. So first of all, how many people actually listened to the strawberry letter today? I just pinned the link. The link is pinned. How many of you guys actually listened to the strawberry letter today? I listened to it this morning while I was on my walk, and please excuse you were waiting on me. Because you know I was gonna come. Hey, we gotta keep up with it. All right. So y'all please excuse my appearance. Honey, I had to get my little gym time in, and I have so many other things that I have to get done tonight, like actually work company stuff. So, like, I was like, either we're gonna get it now, we weren't gonna get it. That's fine. We're gonna listen to it. We are going to listen. We're going to listen to it. All right. And I'll be honest, like, there's a lot to unpack here. So I feel like we'll probably talk about this today. Hey, Lori, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more tomorrow too. So different angles. Tonight I want to talk about the brilliance of what Steve Harvey and Shirley Strawberry pulled off this morning. Now I know some of y'all are ticked off. I know some of y'all are ticked off, but I personally think it was genius what they pulled off, and I realized immediately what was happening. Okay, and that's fine. I know some of you guys are gonna feel totally different than what I feel about this, but it is what it is. And you're invited. Hold on, let me turn on the little request. Okay. So somebody want to come up in here and say it's always being super sensitive with me when I have this one on. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, you guys. If y'all want to request to come up, y'all can do that as well. So this is what we're gonna do. What happened? So basically, Shirley Strawberry's soon to be ex-husband, at least according to her. I'm gonna say soon to be in quotation marks. He has been locked up for over a year. Over a year. He got locked up a little bit after the 4th of July. Just to refresh, the counts so far. Well, some these are some of the charges. Some of the charges: bank fraud, operating a credit repair company illegally, cashing fraudulent checks, carrying a sawed-off shotgun, inappropriate images and activities with children. Y'all know what that term is. I don't want to say the word out here in the social media streets. He also has 5 counts of conspiracy to commit felony, theft by taking, theft of services, depositing bad checks, and the acts that he committed actually right now have him bound from children and animals. He also is not allowed to be on Wi-Fi, and he also cannot leave Fulton County. Also, one of the victims is Shirley Strawberry's daughter, and another victim are Shirley Strawberry's grandchildren. And she actually wrote a letter, which we reviewed that. She wrote a letter to the judge, hey, Bathing in Herbs, pleading for the judge to release Ernesto to her. We had also found out that he has a mistress in Florida. So I guess at once upon a time he was thinking about going there. And he also was trying to talk Shirley into seeing if Steve would let him lay low at his property in Dubai. Uh, so yeah. And it just kept getting worser and worser and worser. So then there's this YouTube channel called Phone Calls from Prison. And Phone Calls from Prison got their hands on all of the calls between Shirley and Ernesto, and the calls between Ernesto and his brother, Ernesto, his son, and Ernesto and the side chick, and has been releasing the calls from prison over the past week. I know a lot of you guys were inboxing me, asking me, did I know? Yes, I was aware. It was just a lot of calls, and some of the calls are pretty lengthy. So it took me about 3 days to actually go through the calls. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys the highlights from the calls, and then we're all going to listen together. We're all going to listen together to Chronicle Speaks. Thank God for her. I knew somebody would do it. I actually listened to this live this morning when I was on my walk. Y'all know I try and get in 3 or 4 miles in the morning. So I listened to the live Strawberry Letter this morning that Steve and Shirley did. And shout out to Chronicle Speaks. She recorded the whole thing and she cut all of the commercial breaks out of the show. So she drilled it down from like 3 hours to about 29 minutes. So we're all going to listen to the live Strawberry Letter this morning. And like I said, if you have an opinion, you want to sound off, send a request, come up, and we're gonna talk about it. All right. Now, here's the highlights of the calls. Shirley Strawberry has lost her home. They also repoed her wedding ring because apparently the $20,000 that Ernesto put down on her ring was with stolen money. So it was a bad check. But he had apparently stolen $250,000 from someone else. Her cars were also taken while she was at the beauty salon. I'm sure it was a very embarrassing ordeal for her. She was getting her hair done, and the police were there, and they came and they took her car. And they said that was, I guess supposed to be used as part of the restitution to pay back the victims. And if y'all want to go listen to these calls, the calls are crazy. The calls are crazy because the only thing Ernesto ever says is wow, wow. I mean, he has no empathy for this woman at all, and he did not give her any heads up. But I'm gonna save my commentary for later. We're gonna talk about that a little later once we get into the call, and maybe we'll play one of the phone calls so y'all can hear. Maybe we'll play one of the phone calls. If we got time, if everybody's into it, we'll play a call. Okay. She also has lost her money. She says several times on these calls that she has nothing. She's like, I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. So she no longer has any assets. I'll be honest, she has lost some of her dignity to some extent. This woman has had a career in media for decades, has managed to be unproblematic. Hey, Nikki has managed to be almost squeaky clean, which is why this was very, very shocking for a lot of people. So she has also suffered damage to her reputation. And to her public image. So, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. And I'm like I said, I know some of y'all are not gonna agree with me, but Steve Harvey is a real one for what he's doing for Shirley Strawberry. I feel like he's absolutely positively stepping in to protect this woman and help this woman, even when she didn't have the sense enough to help herself. Real life, okay? Real life. Also, in the calls, as far as a highlight that was released, there's definitely confirmation of a mistress, and you can see a big difference or hear a huge difference of how Ernesto or Ernest communicates with the mistress compared to Shirley Strawberry. Also, unfortunately, it was really, really sad. The daughter went to take out a restraining order against Ernest, and Shirley basically admits that she did everything she could to try and stop her daughter from this restraining order. Shirley and Ernest pretty much blamed the daughter for him getting the additional charges. Shirley discloses that her daughter only talks to her when it's time for the rent to be paid. So clearly they have a strained relationship right now. Shirley also starts to talk about how her daughter is jealous of her, how pretty much nobody wants her to be happy, these sorts of types of things. Also, inside of the calls, Shirley does make some commentary about Steve and Marjorie. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was too bad, but the internet seemed to, y'all know the internet likes to put 10 on 20. The internet likes to blow up things that really shouldn't be blown up. And then the internet likes to be quiet about things that really should be spoken on. So the social media saints put 10 on 20. But basically, Shirley Strawberry says Steve needs to do more cardio, that he gets winded going up a flight of stairs in his own home. She also talks about how basically she thinks Marjorie has a pretty fabulous life. She does. She talks about how Marjorie has like a spa inside of her home, how they're able to come to the home for massages, how she doesn't have to leave for someone to do her hair, her makeup, and how she wishes she had that sort of type of thing. She also says that Marjorie pretty much treats them like the help. You know, stuff like that. But I'll be honest, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like there's way worse things that could have been said. But what really stood out to me about that particular conversation, basically, yes, they got money. But what really stood out to me in that conversation, it wasn't really what Shirley was saying about Steve and Marjorie. It was about Ernest seemed really, really eager to try and get some type of dirt on Marjorie. Like to me, he was too interested in Marjorie, which was very, very strange. Like I would feel some type of way if my husband was showing that much interest in another woman. Like what, why you care about her? Okay. Why why you care that much about her and what she got going on, and if she's really, that beautiful without her makeup and all these other sorts of types of things. That was very that 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 was very, very strange to me. He was just too eager to know more information about Marjorie. Like in a lot of the phone calls, that seems to be like one of the few calls where he was actually excited, um where he was actually excited. It was very, very strange, very, very strange, very weird to me. So anyway, yeah, it is it. So, and the reason I'm bringing up what Shirley said about Steve and Marjorie, which I thought was brilliant during the Strawberry Letter today, this is pretty much the jumping off point, and this is what they really used to create the deflection, which was brilliant because Shirley. Y'all are gonna hear in the open Strawberry Letter. Shirley is apologizing to Steve and Marjorie. I see you guys backstage. All right. I'm gonna bring you guys up. So this is what I want to do first. We're gonna play the Strawberry Letter. Get your popcorn, get your glass of wine or your water. Hey, Duntel, whatever it is that you like to hydrate in, whatever you like to hydrate with, because this is 29 minutes. But everybody shout out to Chronicle Speaks. That's whose page we're playing this from. She's on YouTube. She took the whole call. She got rid of all the music, all the commercials, and everything in between, and she stacked it all together so we can listen to the live Strawberry Letter in one piece. Now, of course, I'm going to pause and I'm going to give some commentary. L'Oreal, I see you behind stage, baby. Turn on your camera for me. You can turn it off before I bring you up. Just turn it on for me. That's just my little rule. I just need to know. All right, thank you, girl. You can turn it back off. Babe, I gotta make sure I ain't got no mad flashes in here, okay? Make sure I ain't got no flashes in this piece. So we're gonna start the call, okay? And then Braylon and L'Oreal, I'm gonna bring you two up first on YouTube. I don't see anybody in my request queue yet on TikTok. If you want to go live and you got something to say about this, you want to sound off, you're over. Hey, they brought back my enlargement feature on the text. Exciting. They had took it away for a while. It's back. If you want to sound off, you got something that you want to talk about, go ahead and send me a request. I'll bring some of you guys up on TikTok as well. Instagram, same thing. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start the call, and then I'll bring some of you guys up. We can talk about the portions of the strawberry letter. Then we'll go back as a group. We'll listen to more of the call. We'll give a little feedback. We'll listen to more of the call. But real life, I personally think this was brilliant. And for those of you that want to say that like black men don't protect black women, you a bald-faced lie. Because what Steve just did for Shirley Strawberry, to me, was incredible. He has helped this woman save her job. Okay. I know y'all like, it's the Steve Harvey show. No, iHeart, okay, is behind the Steve Harvey show. And inside of this strawberry letter, Steve Harvey is going to talk about how he got bust down before to nothing, and when he lost all of his shows. And we all saw a few years ago when they took away his talk show, right? And everything that happened behind there. So I think that this was super smart, the way that they played this, because they were able to drive up listenership, and they basically were able to prove to whoever the powers that be are that it was worth it to keep Shirley Strawberry. And the way that he allowed the deflection in the narrative to now be turned on him and Marjorie, the way he threw out the timeline, because y'all got to remember, these people have been in the media for decades. I remember the Steve Harvey show on TV, like when I was in junior high or high school or something. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a teenager. So y'all got to remember, you dealing with some people, they not new to this, they true to this. And now the way that they have everybody mad about him coming for black bloggers, and he threw out that timeline. So now people are going to be investigating him and Marjorie and the marriage and what's going on. Baby, okay, don't. Steve Harvey loves Shirley Strawberry. I don't care what anybody says. And y'all, nobody's going to be able to argue me down to convince me of otherwise. My marketing and my business strategy mind immediately clicked into what they were doing. Immediately. It like genius. Flat out genius. Okay. So with all of that being said, everybody got your water. Everybody got water, you got popcorn, you got snacks, you got whatever you need. I see some of y'all down here in my queue on TikTok. I'll bring y'all up too momentarily. Just everybody, when I bring you live, just mute yourself, because we're going to play the call for a little bit, and then we'll stop for commentary, okay? Everybody, y'all ready. And oh yeah, hold on, side note, y'all know the drill. Please send me likes, okay? Like. Let's get up to our first 10,000 likes over here on TikTok real quick. Instagram, I need to get to about 3,500 likes over there. Can I get another 20 people to like this in YouTube land? Please, pretty, please, before we get started. Y'all know I normally mod for other people. I don't be modding for myself. Ready. Also, if you guys want to get a ticket for Accelerate 180 2024, click the link in my bio, big orange button. We got tickets available for next year too. All right, let's go ahead and get the call started, and y'all just tap. Okay, give me the likes while it's happening. Hold on, I'd have pulled up the wrong one. This is the phone call in jail. Okay, we're listening to the live strawberry letter. Y'all help out when people come in here so they know what we're doing.
Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicles Speaks.
Hold on, did everybody just hear that? Everybody just heard that? Or did Jesus say, I'm not one to gossip, I will bring you the tea? Welcome to Chronicles Speaks. I need to make sure everybody can hear. Can we hear? If y'all can hear, say I can hear. Yeah, okay, good. Let's let it go. Ooh. Don't y'all like when we do business tea together? So much fun.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Look at it.
So it's finally happened. Shirley Strawberry has become her very own personal strawberry letter. Steve teased late last week that Shirley Strawberry and himself would be revealing the hot tea that everyone has been talking about. But unfortunately, we really didn't get much information at all. Shirley said that she hasn't spoken to Ernesto in quite some time and that the divorce proceedings were on the way. Steve spoke about his disgust for the Black blogs and how we were in the gutter, honey. I'm going to let you hear the complete Strawberry letter, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. We're going to dive directly into the Strawberry letter. I don't want to keep you guys waiting, but I do have another video coming very soon going into so much more regarding Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto. You guys don't want to miss it. But here we go, the Strawberry letter.
Well, Steve, the time has come, so let's just get to it. We're going to address what's been trending.
Well, here's the deal. We decided to just address it since it's out there. You know, it's one thing when we're dealing with gossip, rumor, and hearsay. That's one thing. You know, I've dealt with this for years. But when it's not gossip and it comes from, you know, a reliable source, then it turns into something different. And so, you know, all of this trending stuff and all this here. And so after some deliberation, we got together. Now, here's the deal about this Strawberry letter. I have no idea what Shirley's going to say. I told Shirley that it was up to her how she wanted to address it. You know, I did go along with this as an idea. I'm not saying I didn't do that, because we talked about it as a radio family and decided this may be the best way. You know, because it's no longer rumor. It's not gossip or anything. You know, this is something that's really touching us all right now. And so, yeah, this is a Strawberry letter. And like, you know, I was, you know, being sarcastic when I did the tease last week. The Strawberry letter is, I didn't know, the subject was, I didn't know I was going to be my own letter. You know, which is true. Now, oftentimes I joke about it because some of these letters sound like I was in it, but this one is. And so today, the way I'm going to do it, Shirley, I'm going to just let you talk.
Okay.
I think to me, I think it's up to you to be as honest or revealing as you choose to be. You know, we can talk about as much of it as you like, but I think it's an opportunity for you to say what you want to say and share your feelings on it, and then we'll have an exchange about it.
Okay, so let me break this down to y'all what just happened, all right? So what Steve really did is he pretty much just laid down the framework so that he's basically saying that this is Shirley Strawberry's directive. This is her show. The conversation is going where she wants it to go. So this absolves him of some type of framework of being controlling about what information is being put out there. Okay? If y'all picking up what was just put down, he basically, almost like if you go to a webinar, okay, and they say, here's the outline of what we're going to cover today. That's pretty much what Steve Harvey just did. But he said, hey, I'm here hosting. It's my platform, but I'm giving Shirley Strawberry the lead way. She has the steering wheel. She has the handles of control. So therefore, she's going to be narrating or dictating where this conversation is heading today. All right. It was so smooth. So smooth. Okay. That's what he just did. Even though now let me be clear. I don't think that they rehearsed line for line verbatim what was going to be discussed today. Right. I think they had a general framework of probably what topics they wanted to hit during the Strawberry letter, right? And so basically what he's doing is he's giving her an alley-oop. That's what's happening right now. All right, we're gonna keep playing. Let's see, Braylon and L'Oreal, I got both of y'all up. On the next break, we're gonna have a little commentary. I got Auntie Pearl and Queen T up over here in TikTok land. And if any of you guys want to request on Instagram or TikTok, go ahead and do so. Only one niche. I'm trying to bring you up in Instagram, but for whatever reason, it's not letting me. I'm going to try again while we're continuing to play. Okay. So we're going to let it keep going. For those of you that are just getting here, Y'all know we've been following the Shirley Strawberry and her husband's criminal escapades for the past few months with the business tea. Long story long, Shirley has gotten to the point she has lost everything. No assets, no home, no car. Even her wedding ring was taken, was confiscated. She has lost, this has been a hit to her public image. She has lost some of her dignity. And Steve is coming in and he's basically trying to help her. And they are addressing, they say addressing, I'm put their air quotes. There's a lot of stuff they didn't address, okay? But they are addressing this as a strawberry letter. There's a page on YouTube called Phone Calls from Prison. Phone Calls from Prison has been getting the phone calls that Shirley has been making to Ernest while he's been in prison. And they have released, over the past week, they've released these phone calls. It's a lot of calls, a lot of content, a lot of information. They have released calls between Shirley and Ernest, Ernest and his mistress, Ernest and his brother, Ernest talking to his son, all kinds of situations, okay? It's a lot going on. Now, please keep in mind, these are phone calls that she's released so far from last year. Okay. Just to catch up anybody that just got here. Y'all do me a favor in the comments. As we have new people coming in, y'all please catch them up with what's going on. All right. Let's continue on.
Okay. All right. All right, Steve. I'm going to just start by saying that my estranged husband is in jail. He's been in jail for over a year since about right after the 4th of July of 2022. And recently, some phone calls from last year between he and I were leaked. And on those calls, you hear me saying you were winded going up the stairs at your home. And Marjorie looks at us as the help. And right here and now, I want to apologize to you and Marjorie for what I said. As much as I wish I could, I can't take it back. I can't. I said it, and I want to apologize. It was definitely not me trying to add to what you and Marjorie already have going on in your lives right now. But the fact that these tapes were released, it does seem like everyone is coming for you, I should say, at this time, including me. But in reality, the tapes have nothing to do with what you and Marjorie have going on. It was just me running my mouth in a private conversation, or what I thought was a private conversation. And again, I apologize. I feel terrible. I make no excuses. I said what I said, and there's no denying it. There's no taking it back. Back then, when the phone calls happened, I was trying to stand by my man, be supportive wife. I've been married to this man for 8 years. I had no this was going on with him. I had no idea. And the charges that he's facing are horrific. They are really bad. I for sure did not want your name mentioned in any kind of way associated with my mess. So I had to call you. I had to tell you it was a hard call for me to make. But I called you. And I want to clear something up, Steve. You did not introduce me to him. I met him through a friend. I should say an ex-friend now. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. I had to tell you, he was in jail. It was going to come out. I didn't want you to hear it from anyone else. I wanted you to hear it from me, because I knew once the police and everyone, got involved, and they were already involved, and they found out who his wife was and who she worked with and all of that, and that's you, Steve Harvey, it would become, a real big story.
All right. Baby, they colder than ice. Do you see what just happened? Does everyone see what just happened? Shirley just painted herself as a concerned, doting friend. I know you and Marjorie are going through so much. I was trying to protect you. That's why I didn't say anything. I knew once it got out, but it's already been out. it's already been out, but I'm not mad at her. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing right now. I wish she would have pulled this number sooner because she probably would have been in a much stronger position than she is right now, baby. Baby, okay. Yeah, your baby, she did not. What she said about them was very insignificant. It wasn't horrid, y'all. The majority of the phone calls, okay, what this woman has just done, now people's attention are off of her, basically ignoring that her daughter is a victim of her husband that's in jail right now, ignoring that her grandchildren are a victim, ignoring that she wrote a letter pleading for the judge to let Ernesto come out and live with her. Okay, the fact that she tried to talk her daughter out of filing the restraining order, all of the wild things she said on the call about her daughter and about other people. Like, y'all, the mention of Marjorie and Steve, very, 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 very minute compared to all the other things. The fact that there's a whole mistress and Ernest was like, let me see your titties. Like, I'm literally, this is what he's telling old girl, the side piece, like, hey, show me your titties, okay? Like Charlie Murphy, send me pictures. And she's like, oh, I can send 5 and all this other kind of stuff. The fact that the brother, Ernest's son, the mistress, and Ernest were conspiring against her, okay? There's a lot. And what she just did was shifted, right, everything over to I'm being a protective friend because of what's going on between Steve and Marjorie. Do y'all see what's happening? Okay, I know everybody is breaking this down from a different way, baby. I'm coming to you from the business so y'all can see what's happening on the marketing and the branding aspect. Now, was Shirley a fool? Absolutely, positively. Okay, is she on the way to letting this man ruin her life, almost ruin her life? Yes, this woman is almost 70 years old and has nothing now and has to start over, okay? Anyway, Braylon, I'm going to bring you in first, my good man.
Oh, Lord Jesus. First of all, before I get started, from one Arkansan to another, I am very proud of you. I remember you. I think you were on Periscope, if I'm not mistaken, a while back. And from just, how you've been taking over covers and your advice and even the wedding, the nuptials, just wanted to give you your flowers, first of all. No problem. No problem. Listen, each platform requires a different energy. I have always said that, always believed that. And, it's interesting because this could have went one or two ways, y'all. It could have went really good or really bad. Now, I know that sounds redundant, but follow me here. As Ashley Ann said, iHeartRadio and Premier Networks that syndicates it has the power. Usually when something in the industry has happened, it has already been talked about many times and has been went through many people before it gets to us. So if they did not want this conversation, iHeart would have said no. Although I will say this too, I agree and disagree with you on the Steve and Marjorie thing, right? Because on the outside, you're absolutely correct. But on the inside, you're incorrect because Steve Harvey had this show in LA in 2005 where he had 4 stations. Correct. And he was with Radio 1. Mm-hmm. And every morning when he says Steve Harvey has a radio show, he says that mentally to let himself know that he still has something that's important to him. He said in a Black Enterprise magazine interview that out of all the jobs he has, he will never give up that radio show. So I say that because even though it was a deflection, I wasn't surprised by that. They've worked together over 2 decades. Oh yeah. And before you're a radio host, you're a friend. So
yeah, that's what I said. I said Steve loves Shirley. What he is doing for her right now, the general public doesn't realize what's going on. But what this man is doing for her right now, baby, you can't have a better friend than that. There's someone go to this extreme for you to help you step in the boo-boo.
Absolutely.
She'd have stepped in the boo-boo, sat in the boo-boo, rolled around in the boo-boo. Baby, she's taking boo-boo showers at this point.
Lord help.
And the fact that Steve, like, because they had to get together, and this I'm thinking, like you said, this had to roll through a bunch of people. before they came on the air and said, this is the conversation we're going to have in front of everyone. So that's why I said this is genius. And from listening to the calls between Shirley and Ernest, I don't believe that this was Shirley's brainchild, because she came off as like just super naive and very delusional in all of those conversations she was having with Ernest.
Yeah.
Just not in reality. And she didn't really seem to have any wherewithal, because there's even one of the conversations, and I'll try and pull that one up. That can be the one that we play tonight. And she's telling Ernest, I guess like in frustration, that Steve said, you need to distance yourself from him. You're too old to be losing everything. Get away from him. And Ernest is like, you can start over. He's so casual about it. I was like, boy. He still was like, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. You know, we got to stick together. And I'm like, Shirley.
Yeah. Yeah. And the words of Mud to the Damn DEA, I think y'all remember the play where she said, I quote, I would rather go get a birthday cake, put that birthday cake on the inside of the door, and surprise myself with my own birthday party rather than being with somebody and being in pain. So I totally agree.
That part. Miss L'Oreal, what you got for me, honey pie?
I think I'm like Braylon. It could have went two ways, but my two ways were my antennas automatically went up when she said what you and Marjorie are going through. I was like, why she bring that up? What they got to do with it? Why you throwing them under the bus? And as I listened, I was like, he finna help her. He helped her keep her job.
Yeah.
But to the public running around, they gonna pin Margie against her.
Yeah.
Yep. Margie should have her fired. Margie should have her watch, because why you bringing them into your mess just because you talked about them in the phone call and the help comment that we gonna get up to? They gonna pin Margie against her, but it definitely grabbed the attention to Steve first, and Steve took the bulk of it. He did definitely protect her and help her keep her job. He told her that a long time ago, you know, when he was trying to tell her about the clause and all of this stuff, you know.
Yeah, when he was talking to her about that morality clause, and he flat out told her, he was like, people up here are looking at you. People at your place of employment, they're looking at you. And they're going to talk about that later on in this call. They're not going to get into like great detail, but they're going to basically be like, well, yeah, everybody already knew. We just didn't want to say anything to you. So Shirley was going to work every day, acting like nobody else knew what was going on.
She's so naive.
She went a top tier criminal, like, man. Everyone knows, the worst kept secret ever. Everybody knows.
She's so naive, and she almost 70, and I think a lot of people thinking about that for her. You know, she's so naive, man. But I definitely think their tactic was to keep quiet on this and not say a word publicly. And as Steve addresses, we normally don't speak on any of this blog. And I think that was his initial response to her, was get your stuff together, don't speak on it. But when these calls drop, honey, it's a different ballgame.
It wasn't no way around it when the calls dropped. Nothing they can do. Let me hear from some of my people over here in TikTok. Queen T, what's going on this evening, honey buns? What you got on it?
I'm just listening right now because I need to know a little bit.
Say it again, Queen T, you cut out.
I said I don't follow it, so I need to hear a little bit more.
Okay, Glam Pig said you still so sad for her. Why are you sad for her, Glam Pig? Why are you sad for her? Look, it's a barrage of emotions. Rain was over here on YouTube talking about she was Marjorie and Pillow Talk. She'll tell Steve to fire Shirley. Rain ain't playing. Rain said don't you talk about me. Auntie Pearl, what you got on it so far, girl?
Oh, honey. So far, I agree with everything you said. I do believe he's about to show her how deep he actually cares for her, how much of a friend he is to her, and how he's going about it. Like you said, he's about to protect this Black woman. And I don't believe it will go over too well between Wifey and Miss Strawberry. I think they are going to probably have some words in the back end. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I think they should, but I do believe that he is finna show her just how much of a friend he is, regardless of what she said about him behind his back.
That's fair. I'll be honest, I don't think what she said was that bad. I mean, I guess and maybe I feel differently because I work and like we have a family business. And so I just know that sometimes the way that like they get on my nerves, I know I get on their nerves. You know what I mean? And then I'm just thinking about anybody that you love, even if you don't work together. You know what I'm saying? There's a point y'all just get on each other's nerves sometimes. So you may say something that you know what I mean? Like she was like, do more. She basically was like, do more cardio. She's like Steve Winded when he go upstairs. You know, he got a 40-inch waist, and at the time that may have been true. She was like, he needs to do some more cardio. For her to say Marjorie treats them like a help, I mean, like the help, if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. And maybe Marjorie does treat them like the help. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the shifts were in the relationship or the dynamics in the relationship once Steve got married to Marjorie. Marjorie may be a person, maybe she doesn't want to get that, you know, too close to his friends. You know what I'm saying? There's some people I'm going to be gracious. I'll be nice. You know, I'll fix you a drink. I say hello and smile, but maybe she didn't really want to develop a relationship. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like that's like the worst thing that could have been said. And when you look at all these other things, it's so minute. You know what I mean? And the fact, that's what I said, this is genius. The fact that she flips this into, I owe Steve and Marjorie an apology instead of talking about, you know, the daughter, the restraining order, the fact that your grandchildren are victims, that this man has sodomy charges on him. He has MS station, you know, charges, child corn on there, like drug charges, bank fraud, embezzlement, like all this other stuff. Your car is repo, your ring is repo, you have lost your home, you have lost all your assets, all these other things. And a lot of this was discussed in these calls. So the fact that they're like, oh, okay, we just go and be like, oh, I was trying to protect Steve in the friendship, and him and Marjorie are going through so much. It was genius. It was genius. And then Steve threw out the crack at the black bloggers, which we gonna hear. I'm just saying what they did. Okay, magnifique. Miss Faith, what you got on it this evening?
Hey, beautiful. Thank you for letting me up on the line.
Uh-oh, you cut out, Faith. There you go. You're back.
I want to just give you your flowers. First of all, love you since the day I met you on the other live of Laura Live.
Love you back.
Said, oh my God, I have to go follow her. But meanwhile, back at the rent, I just found out about this today. And I was trying to catch up on all of it and listen to it. But my thing that I have a problem with is she was married to this gentleman for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have a problem with. You know, her losing all of that behind of it. You're not gonna not know your husband like that. I mean, I don't know. 8 years with a man and you don't know what he's doing. Something's not right in that prediction. To me, she had to come out. It was leaked out about it. Some of it feel like to me narcissistic. Her and Margie will gonna have to have a conversation. You know, women, we different in our emotions when we hear things been said about us. You know, to me, that's what I feel. But yeah, I'm lost for words because she lost everything. You can't sit up here and tell me you didn't know nothing about your husband doing something that wasn't supposed to be right.
I'm in the Faith. Me and you.
Intuition.
Me and you, we right here.
I'll be fine.
I may not know everything, but I'm gonna know something. I'm married to you for 8 years. But that's what, and this is the other thing. Y'all gotta remember Erica King, his partner in crime, the one that helped him steal the $1 million from them. promising business services and credit repair and never doing that. She was in a over 8,000 square foot house literally next door to them, and Shirley and Ernest's name was on this rental house that Erica was in. So like I don't believe that she I don't know if she knew everything, but I don't believe that she knew nothing. I'm agree with you. Oh, I'm agree with you on that, Faith. Yolanda,
Okay.
Yolanda, what you got for me, girl?
Thanks for having this platform and talking. So what I got out of it this weekend, I was able to listen to all the tapes and everything. So first of all, it was not a year ago. No telling what's gonna come up after this, because he told her several times, her husband, we are being recorded, because he didn't say nothing crazy for real, because he had to watch it. He knew they was recording him. So not saying that the Steve Harvey stuff was like that dramatic or whatever, but just her making excuses for him, like, I'm more upset about the daughter, not protecting your daughter, your grandchildren. You know, I don't care about the Steve Harvey stuff, but she never stood up for her daughter. Like, we can't say now right now, it's in trial, it's in litigation, I can't talk about it, but she stood by him each time, like, oh, I'm so sorry you in there, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, it was never, and then talking about the daughter that he's supposed to whatever with, that's why I have a problem with.
Right. So this is one thing I want y'all to notice, because Yolanda, you bring up a great point, right? Shirley didn't have to get into details about what was going on with her daughter, but one thing I do feel like she missed an opportunity to help redeem her brand. She could have easily said something, just real simple statement. I'm praying my daughter and I will get through this and we'll be able to repair our relationship. That's all she had to say. And that was a missed opportunity. But the way that they turned this to Steve and Marjorie was brilliant. And I know people feel how they feel about Steve Harvey, but this man is coming through for his friend, because he could have easily let Shirley be fired. He could have easily let her stay in her pile of boo-boo on her own. And so the fact that they were like, we're going to have this as a conversation, we're going to run a bag up, maybe because the commercials were rolling today. Do y'all hear me? They were literally talk for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then there'd be a 10-minute break in commercials. Okay. So the fact that he went to the powers that be and said, hey, we can have this as a live conversation. This is what we can put out here. This is the way that we can move the needle to curve this around, because now they can literally say, well, we addressed it. We had a whole entire live strawberry letter about this. It's genius. And now people are out here. Now they're talking about the relationship between Steve and Shirley and Marjorie. People are at him about the comment that he made about Black bloggers, right? People are now distracted because Steve actually we're going to get to it. He's going to lay out a timeline of his relationship and Marjorie's relationship. So now guess what he did? He's sending all these people on a wild goose chase so they can go and fact check what he had to say and about his interactions with Marjorie. I'm telling y'all, what he did was brilliant. And this man, despite how people may feel about him, he has showed himself as a true friend to Shirley Strawberry, as a true friend to her, because he could have left her out there in the wind, okay, naked. He didn't. He said, you know what? He said, I got your back. He said, I got your back. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to play this. All right, y'all. So we're going to continue on the call. For any of you guys that are getting in here, Shirley Strawberry has finally addressed the situation with her criminal husband. A lot of the things that have been out, it's not rumors. Even when they started the show, Shirley and Steve said this is not rumors, it's not gossip. These things are real life at this point in time, and so they need to be addressed. There's a YouTube channel called Phone Calls from Prison. They have taken the phone calls between Shirley and her estranged husband, also Ernest and his mistress, Ernest and his brother, Ernest and the son, and they have put these out. And I'm sure there are more calls to come. And so in the calls, we find out that Shirley is basically trying to, she's standing by her man, but in the midst of her standing by her man, she leaves her daughter and her grandchildren out there because they are victims of Ernest. This man does have criminal charges against him. that keep him away from children and animals. Okay. He's been locked up for over a year. Over a year at this point. He got locked up a little bit after the 4th of July last year. A myriad of charges against him, everything from bank fraud, counts to conspire, sawed-off shotgun, just all, yes, baby, he can't be around animals or Wi-Fi whenever they were doing the bond hearing. He's still in there, though, okay? Shirley basically tried to convince her daughter not to file the restraining order against Ernest. And then in one of the conversations, they're basically discussing how this was the cause of him getting more charges. And Ernest is like, well, does she hate me that much? Blah, 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 blah. There's a whole entire thing. And also in the midst of this, Steve tells Shirley, you need to flee, you need to take cover, you need to take care of yourself. You're too old to be losing everything. And you guys will notice if you listen to the phone calls, the conversation is very, very different between Ernest and the mistress and Ernest and Shirley. So to me, I view that, it looks like Ernest saw Shirley as a meal ticket. Okay. Now, because they have finally decided to address it, and I don't know if she ever would have if the phone calls weren't released. But I'm positive, I don't think Shirley came up with this plan. I would be shocked if she did, just because of listening to her countenance during the phone calls. Basically, they came out and they did a live strawberry letter today. So now we're going through the letter and we're breaking it down, because I feel this is genius on the business side, on the marketing, on the branding, and the way that they have changed, not necessarily changed the narrative, but they have deflected. Okay. And they've given people a lot of other things to talk about now, versus some of the really, really poor decisions that Shirley Strawberry made. All right. So we're going through the call. We're 6 minutes in. Everybody say thank you to Chronicle Speaks. She's here on YouTube and TikTok. She took the strawberry letter from this morning. She took all of the commercials out. She took all of the music out. So we just could get to the portions of the strawberry letter, because y'all know their morning show is like 3 hours long, and she has it drilled down and what we're doing. And if y'all want to request to come up, you can. But what we're doing right now, we're going through, I'm kind of breaking down so y'all can see what's happening as we go through the call and what portion is which. So we already covered the outline. We already covered where Steve was like, hey, I'm giving Shirley the reins. It's the control of whatever she wants to talk about. And then he set her up. He gave her the alley-oop. Okay. Shirley came in and she's like, oh, I have to apologize to you and Marjorie for the things that I've said. So now she's not addressing any of the issues with her child, any of the issues with her grandchild, with her grandchildren. She's not addressing that her the car is repoed, the ring is repoed. She has lost her home. She has no more assets, that she's pretty much flat broke. Right there, there's several things. She's not addressing the mistress, like any of it. She's not talking about her involvement, what she knew, what she didn't know, as she was tied to this man for 8 years, because now the subject of the content is Marjorie and Steve, and that she betrayed her friends, right? And so she's apologizing to them. It's genius. Freaking genius. All right, y'all, let's continue on with the call. Everybody, get your libation, okay? Get your snack. All right, we're going to continue on with the call.
Because it's your name. And like I told you, Steve, when I called you, I didn't want to call you. I mean, I was embarrassed. I was hurt. I felt so stupid, and, I felt betrayed, humiliated. It was just terrible. I mean, I kept saying to myself, how is this my life? Police and jail and all of this. It was just something that I didn't, I'd never experienced anything like this. The police came, they took my car. I was at the salon getting my hair done. They rolled up, took my car. I had to have my stylist take me home. I had to move in with friends. I lost my house. I lost everything. Oh, and I have to tell you this too. Like on the day, July 4th, we were having dinner with friends and we were going to watch the fireworks after that. And so the fireworks didn't happen that night because it was like a terrible, terrible storm. So the fireworks got canceled. And when I look back, I see now that was kind of a metaphor for what was about to happen in my life. the thunderstorms were coming. They were coming. The next day was the last time I saw him. He was arrested the very, very next day. I didn't even know he was arrested. I couldn't get in touch with him later that day. Well, I'll tell you the rest later, how I got the phone call from jail and all of that. But we'll be back at 23 minutes after the hour with this live Strawberry Letter.
Hey, we're back, everybody. And our Strawberry Letter this morning, as you can see, is a very, very real letter. I'm not going to interrupt it at this point. Shirley was going over some of the key points about how she discovered the actions of her husband, the date that she discovered it. She's apologized for the things that were said about myself and Marjorie in the letter. I'm not responding right now. I'm allowing her to tell her story. I think it's important that a person tells their side of it because, like I said earlier, this is no longer hearsay. This is not gossip or rumor. This is real life. So, Shirley, you can continue.
All right. So I was telling you how I found out that he was in jail. I got a call from the jail and, I didn't answer it because I'm like, who would be calling me from jail? I looked at my phone like, jail? Where'd this call? It just didn't compute. So I just ignored it. But he got word to me through one of his friends. They texted me that he was at Fulton County Jail. So the next time he called, I picked up, and that was him that I called earlier from jail. And he told me what happened. I thought he would be getting out in a couple of days because that's what he told me. But of course, here we are a year later, those days turned into weeks, the weeks turned into months. And like I said, this is just on and on. Every day is just something. And my life has just been a nightmare ever since. And it's still going on, Steve. I mean, I had no idea that those tapes would be released to the world. I knew that they were being recorded, but I didn't know that they were going to go out to the world. I mean, I was just trying to make conversation with him, trying to, just get him to think about something other than where he was. I was telling him about my day, this particular day, and that was the day we were talking about, on the phone when I said those things about you and the things that you heard and the world heard. And cut to today, I haven't spoken to him in quite some time. Divorce proceedings are underway. And Steve, at this point, all I could say is, what I have is my faith. If it wasn't for God, I probably would have, lost my mind or something in this instance. People don't see what happens when these mics go off. Who wants their personal stuff, their private conversations to go out to public? No one wants that. I mean, what could I say to you after this, happened? I was devastated. I mean, absolutely devastated. I mean, I thought of everything, I could lose my job. How could I face you? Everything, what I'm going through is what I'm going through, and I've been going through it for over a year. I just haven't spoken about it. Then on top of all that, these tapes come out and, I'm talking about you and Marjorie, and you guys are going through your own private hell right now. You didn't need me to contribute to anything, and I thought back, because I knew I had to say something, speak on. You created this term years ago in Los Angeles called reality radio. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is about as real as it gets, Sure. And the reason I'm here before you now, I wanted to say it live on the radio, is because your name is in it. We've been friends for a long time, Steve, and these jail calls were made public, and I wanted to give you and Marjorie a public apology and to ask for your forgiveness publicly. I just wanted to have a real moment with you. And, I have to tell you, I've been coming to work every day because, it's my only safe haven right now. It gave me a place where I could still be myself and forget my troubles for a little while, and just, do my job. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you, of course, Steve, Tommy, Junior, and of course my girl Carla, for the space and the grace that you guys have shown me. This is a very difficult time in my life, is if you can imagine. I love you guys. We're family, and I thank you. And I just want to thank everyone. I'm just trying to live. I'm sorry for what you and your wife are going through right now in your life. And I hate your names were dragged into my drama because you certainly don't deserve it. That's it.
Well, Shirley.
God dang it, in the scene. Oh my, y'all, first of all, it's been quite some time since she's spoken to Ernesto. Okay, thank you everybody for helping me hear my live. Quite some time. Now, again, remember, these people have been in the media for decades. Okay, for decades. So when you say quite some time, that could be 2 days, that could be 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much. That could be 2 months. Okay, that's number one. But do y'all hear? Have y'all picked up what's being put down right now? Now this has become a conversation of, I betrayed Marjorie and Steve. Not I betrayed myself. Not I ruined my career behind a dust bucket, because Ernest is a whole dust bucket criminal in these streets. Not I married a man who's had a criminal record since the 80s and been convicted several times. Not that I have not been the best mom to my daughter, right? And not the best grandma to my grandchildren. Not that I've made terrible financial decisions. Not that I'm almost 70 years old and I have nothing left. But instead, we're going to spend this entire Strawberry Letter talking about Marjorie and Steve and touching on the rumors, right? Because we already know that there's a lot of speculation about Steve and Marjorie and their marriage. There's been rumors for years about, they're not together, they're together. She's a cheater, she's not a cheater, right? Like, do y'all see the genius of this? Do y'all see the genius of this right now, of what is happening? It's amazing. When I say Steve Harvey is a great friend, y'all can say a lot of things about this man, but he is a good friend to Shirley Strawberry. When I say that this man is right now protecting her big time, y'all, are you for real? I won't hear nobody else out here talking about black men don't protect black women, okay? Now, Ernest may have been a criminal, but when I say Steve is out here covering for his friend, making sure his friend still has a job, trying to help his friend rebuild her reputation. When she talked about who wants their private conversations or their private thoughts put out there, and they're going to reiterate this, what they are doing is creating points of relatability, empathy, and sympathy. That's what's happening right now. Okay, well, that's what they're doing. So in marketing, we have something that we like to call touch points. Okay, and you want to have as many touch points as you can with your audience members. So now she's bringing in a different position, right? So you can sympathize with her or empathize with her about what she's going through. You can hear, right? She sounds, I'm very sorrowful for what I've done to my friend. I've put my job and my career at risk, and everybody has private thoughts and private conversations, and we never expect them to be leaked, and we would all be mortified, which is true. We would all be mortified if they were leaked out. I'm telling you, this was effing amazing. Incredible. Now everybody else is running around here on social media, right, going in on Steve for talking about black bloggers, and now they're really digging further into Steve and Marjorie's marriage. But Steve clearly has said, I'm strong enough to deal with this. I've been the public figurehead, big boss, big name for a long time. Shirley, let me bear the brunt of this and let me help you out of this, since now you finally decided to separate yourself from Ernest, okay? And baby, okay. We have with L'Oreal, girl. What you got on it? What you got? It's y'all. I'm telling y'all, effing genius.
It was genius. Listen, she put it on, but I feel like that was still authentic Shirley.
Lord help. Lord.
They didn't have to coach
she
her
really did
at all. They didn't have to really coach her. They just let Shirley get up there and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how she is. She really meant that, as far as her apology. But it was genius. It was genius. He really is trying to help her. And
He
and like
is.
you said, they've been together for decades. You know, it's a lot. And I do feel like, in a way, she feel like since Margie come around, she don't get to see her friend like that, like it used to be. Which she said that. But um I don't feel like he blames her in that manner. And I'm gonna say God kept Shirley. She may have lost a lot of things. It may have been her wake up call. But I'm gonna say God kept Shirley, because think of how damaging those conversations, those phone calls could have really been if she had been a person like the side chick talking.
Right.
She still had her composure on most of those calls. She was praying. She was naive, but she was still Shirley. God kept Shirley.
Was it God did keep Shirley, but that was strange to me, the lack of emotion on a lot of those calls. But that's not what this is about today. We talking about the bread, and I don't get it. That's was
But
strange
the
to
brand,
me.
she still missed some opportunities.
Yeah, she
But
she
he
missed a few
did.
opportunities, but yeah,
Yeah.
he
Because
he,
people
he threw
people
a
are still
huge
lighting her on
lifeline.
fire for that.
Yeah,
But
like
but
even I mean, look at the comment section right now over here. There are people in TikTok and YouTube, people on Instagram right now, and they're like, "Oh, I feel sad for Shirley. No one should have to go through this. I feel so sorry for her." So yeah, like a big lifeline, and there's still going to be a sector. Let me tell you, there's going to be a sector of people that are going to stick with her, but she's also going to attract a new fan base of women that are going to
Yes.
rally around her, because that's the next play. That's the play. It's the
right.
transition of watch Shirley rebuild her life. Watch
Absolutely.
Shirley, right? Watch Shirley overcome this challenge. Watch how Shirley recovers from a bad man. Because I thought it was very interesting that Shirley made sure that she wanted to get out there to everyone that Steve did not introduce her to Ernest, that
Mm-hmm.
Steve did not hook them up, that it's for, a friend, what she says now, ex-friend, put them together, which I'm not mad. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at what she's doing. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing. But y'all watch.
Do you
It's a
do,
whole new
do
thing. She's finna start getting booked for new speaking engagements. Watch.
mhm.
You're gonna see her on all kinds of podcasts and stuff, talking about her going through this, how she's healing, how she's doing, how she's recovering. She probably finna write a new book. It's finna be a New York best time seller. Oh, but she about to profit from all of this pain. I'm not mad
Absolutely. No,
at that.
absolutely. I want to
Yeah.
bring up a important point there because going to Kent State University for applied communication, but before that, going for broadcast journalism at Arkansas Tech University, Russellville, Arkansas. I want to explain to people the tears that you heard.
Break it down for us, Braylon.
So when it comes to radio broadcasting, everyone has a hometown station. In Little Rock, Arkansas, there were two hometown stations. Hot 96.5 with Tony Seville and that whole crew over there.
Yeah.
And then Power 92 jams 100,000 watts of power, the maximum allowed by law. We have a thing on the Broadway Joe Morning Show called the Power People Poll Question of the Day. It's like the strawberry letter, but follow me here. When you spend 4 to 5 hours a day with somebody on a microphone, even if you don't talk to them outside of work, there is a bond there that you cannot explain to anybody else. And so what I truly felt from Shirley is, even though she knows her truth, and even though the truth should have been said, she did what she needed to do, because at the end of the day, I think she realized that, you know what, with everything that's going on, this is my real family. And if I am going to go out, I'm at least going to go out with dignity, honor, and respect of the fact that I have been with these people for 4 hours a day live. Because in industry, depending on the industry, you spend more time with people in the industry than your own family sometimes.
This is facts.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, she did what she needed to do. And of course, there will be the multiple camps, but I also do believe that at the end of the day, The microphone is a powerful tool and dangerous weapon. And you can say what you want to, but there was a movie called Private Parts with Howard Stern. And there was a pivotal point in this. This reminds me of Steve and Shirley, where Robin had to get fired from the show. And Howard Stern did everything in his power to get Robin back. And when Robin Quivers went through her medical situation, Howard said to Beth that if Robin passed away, he would not do the radio show if Robin did make it. So when I tell y'all that on the outside, it's like, oh, it's just a 4-hour radio show. All they do is get on a microphone and talk. I promise you that connection is that deep because they put the work in for it to be that deep. Because let me tell you, the only reason why it's getting this type of reaction is because everybody felt it. So
it is good points, very, very valid. All right, Auntie Pearl, girl, let us know what you got on it. Look, and I appreciate everybody in the comments that are saying that now that I've said something, they can see why it was genius. Look, y'all, okay, I'm telling you, they don't pay me the big dollars for no reason. Okay, this is crisis management, and they're doing a great job. They're doing a fantastic job of it. Fantastic job. Hey, Chronicle Speaks is in the building. Y'all, everybody, Chronicle Speaks put up a bunch of emojis. Everybody go follow her. Look, Chronicle, I was telling them that you did the job for us of editing out all of the commercials, editing out all of the music and putting it all together in one piece. Y'all, that's Chronicle Speaks. That's the girl right there, the researcher of the researcher, okay? I told y'all, I said it's an insult to call this woman a blogger, okay? She is a journalist. She is an investigator reporter. The FBI even goes through her work to pick up information, okay? There she is. Girl, put up a bunch of emojis, okay? That's her. We love Chronicle Speaks over here. And you guys, this is who we're pulling, okay? This is who we're pulling the interview from right now. Love it. Y'all, please follow Chronicle Speaks, support her. I've been a follower and a fan of hers for years, okay? The sister is amazing, okay? Amazing. It is an insult to call her a YouTube blogger because she is much more than that, okay? Now, Auntie Pearl, baby, what you got on it? What you got on it, girl?
Let me tell you something. I don't even want to get I don't want to say too much, but I do want to point out something that I see that we should be looking at, because the way you breaking it down, baby, you are so on point for anybody who is business minded and feels like there's something that they need to protect their brand. And I see a lot of people on TikTok that could use the information you laying down right now. When it comes to protecting their brand, protecting what they're promoting, protecting what they're selling, right? This is some good information. And also, I just want to add is that, you know, I'm always against the saying of, and I don't want to take us off the subject. I just want to point something out. I'm always against the term that people use, the quote unquote Pookie and Ray Ray and Quanisha and all that, these hood names, quote unquote, is what they call these people, you know, that come up out of the hood. But let me tell you, this is why you cannot discredit everybody from every walk of life. And Pookies and Ray Rays or whatever these people would like to call them, and make it seem like it's supposed to be an insult and they have no value to the community. It's one thing to still be in the community and not wish it any well and continue to do harm. But it's a whole nother when you leave that community and you actually do something with yourself and your life and your family, and you still have some of the mentality part of it that you are still able to witness when somebody trying to run game on you, when somebody trying to scheme on you, when somebody like this is your husband or your wife and they are sitting up using you as a cash cow and stealing from you and doing things behind your back. Because, baby, my hood mentality, he might have got me down the aisle, baby, but he wouldn't have got away with all this because I would have turned his ass in. Ain't no way he would have got away with all this. Not up under my roof, under the roof that we sharing, and the side chick living next door, baby. Coming from the hood teaches you a whole bunch of valuable lessons that people would like to discredit right now. And I'm just not having it, because something like this may have kept Shirley out of this situation or allow her to get out of this situation sooner than later, enough to be able to repair some minor damage, but now she's all in and everything's gone. So having a little bit of the understanding and experience from the hood may have helped her. So let's not discredit those Pookie and Ray Rays, because they still need love too.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to point out, Mama.
Okay, Auntie Pearl. Auntie Pearl said you better get you some street smarts in this piece. Okay. She said you better go down there and talk to cousin Ray Ray. Okay, and to Pookeisha. You better holler at them. Miss Faith, what you got on it so far?
So far, as Steve allowing her to market herself, tell her story, little at a time. So that's where her comeback's going to come. Like you said, her testimony. Speaking engagement, other women going to grab hold, might have been through what she'd been through, might have dated, or been with somebody that didn't know. So yeah, he's marketing her, deflecting certain situations, seeing at a time to come out, for each of what has been told. So that's how I get it so far.
I'm telling you, if she the next best thing that she can do in a couple of months is come out with a how I became a fool or something like that, or like a fool for love, and she could talk about all of the missteps and the mistakes she made and the delusion she was in. And this is the tale I want to share so that other women don't experience the same thing. Please, please. That when I say it would, so many people will be there to listen to that. And as she continues the strawberry letter, she needs to periodically bring up her own mistakes, because this is the one thing, she can't continue the strawberry letter in the same way. It's not going to work anymore. So she can't, right? Because in the strawberry letter, she was giving people all this advice for years and years and years. So she can't just bring it up and say, here's my advice, or this is what I do, because people are immediately going to be like, Shirley, you wouldn't do ish. Okay. They're going to say, Shirley, you wouldn't bust a grape. Shirley, you was sitting over there letting Ernesto do blah, 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 blah to you. So what she's going to have to do now is start saying, well, here's the strawberry letter. And from my experience or from my mistakes, I remember when I did this. I remember when I made this mistake. I remember when I ignored this thing. I remember when I didn't pay attention to this sign, and that's what led me here. And I don't want you to have the same outcome as me. And if she plays it like that, people will adore her. They will adore her. They will embrace her. Like, that's the way. But if she comes trying to be like from a all-knowing type of place, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Yeah, she got to have a bit of humility, but her humility will elevate her. And so I'm positive that they've got to be speaking to her behind the scenes on that. I would hope so. I would hope so. That's a good point, Glam Pig. She said Melody Hope from Huntsville, Alabama. Her rebrand was fire, and was she the whole people's champ in these streets. Queen T, what you got on it, girl? Uh-oh, Queen T, you with us? All right, y'all. So we're going to continue on with the call. Y'all do me, everybody that is liking, thank you so much for the likes. Go ahead and run me up to 50,000 likes, okay? Y'all keep tapping while we're listening. Thank you for everyone who has sent me the little huggy heart to help me meet my live goal. Queen Wilson, thank you. Life Evolution Coach, thank you. I'm Shanna Thompson, thank you. Cam Meets Bunny, thank you, love. Lady O, Michelle, thank you. Tamisha Ingram, thank you. Peter Anderson, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, thank you so much, Shanna Thompson. All right, you guys. So we're going to continue on in the call. For those of you that are just getting here, Shirley Strawberry is finally addressing the situation with her and Ernesto, her criminal husband. And criminal is not a harsh word. I feel like I should be using another word for this man. I mean, the rap sheet is long, real long. And basically her calls were, there's a YouTube channel called Phone Calls from Prison. and they have been releasing the calls between Ernest and his side chick and Ernest and Shirley Strawberry. Also Ernest and his brother and his son also on some of these calls, and they're only up to October of last year. So who is telling what's about to be released next? Okay. Now Chronicle Speaks on YouTube. That's the page that we're playing the live Strawberry Letter from. She took the time to take out all of the commercials, all of the music, and only include the breaks where Shirley and Steve are addressing the Strawberry Letter. We're about halfway through the Strawberry Letter. They addressed it live this morning. So if you guys are not following Chronicle Speaks, that's why I picked this screenshot right here. You can see her name right there. It says Chronicle Speaks on YouTube. She's also on TikTok. She's done a phenomenal job covering this story. Okay. She has a lot of the documents as well, the court documents and things like that on her channel too. Okay. So we're going to continue on in the call and then we'll take a break. I'm breaking it down right now from the business perspective to let you guys know what's happening on a marketing, on a branding side, on a Olivia Pope, let's put out a fire. Let's put out a fire. And what Steve Harvey is doing right now, in my opinion, is extremely admirable what he's doing, because he is really out here helping his friend save her butt right now. But it's amazing what they're doing. All right. Genius. All right, y'all. Everybody got your libations? We all have our libations. Everybody had their snacks. I may need to get a little refill. Okay, I'm about out of my water. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
Let me say this. First of all, what's happening to me and Marjorie, I'm going to address that. But let me say this though. The devil is busy. The devil is busy. And the devil don't come for those he got. He sends those that he has. So now, with all this going on around us right now, what I do understand, though, see, this jailhouse conversation you had was last year in October 2022. But the devil know how to pile on at the right time. So this tape that was made in October 2022 gets released right on the heels of all of this to just pile on some more. And I guess you say, it was recorded because, when everybody get that phone call, who ain't had that phone call? Fulton County, we please know yourself phone call. This phone call is being recorded. We come back, we'll address some more. But this Strawberry Letter look like it's about to be the 9 o'clock hour. So we'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this. All right, y'all, we're back. And the Strawberry Letter has been extended because I think there's a lot that need to be said. Just to give you a brief recap, we opened up the floor for Shirley to tell her story, whatever she wanted to do. We didn't rehearse this. We didn't plan this. Shirley came out and apologized for the things that were said about myself and my wife. But I also realize, and I know the timing of all this is important, because this conversation she had with her estranged husband was in October of 2022. The tapes got released right now. So, and then when you can throw my name on anything, because you look at all these stories, my name headlines the stuff. And so Shirley, when it came out, she called right away, apologized and everything. And so I understand that. And Shirley didn't want her mess to become our mess. Let me say this to you, Shirley. We have known about this right after it happened. Right. But we can't get in nobody's marriage and just go, girl, what you doing? What you thinking? What you feeling?
We didn't want to say nothing.
Right. They didn't want to say nothing.
We didn't want to talk
because
about it.
We didn't want to talk about it. And we wanted to create for you a space where you could come to work and have some moments. Because I know what it's like.
And you did.
To get beaten and eaten alive. And so it became, for us, let's just be there for her. And when you want to tell us, you will tell us.
Yeah.
When you're ready. Now, good thing you had Monica, Mississippi Monica, who has been with you this whole ride. You did confide in her. Mm-hmm. So Monica would keep us posted, but until you wanted to invite us in, we were just left over here as a support system. And so we were just, yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but can I just say this? I look at you guys as my family. we all are family. You know, a lot of times we there was a time when we saw each other more than we saw our actual families. And, you know, it was just so hard for me to I'm a private person, you know, but we all have our stuff. We talk afterwards. We're friends. We're all that. It was just hard for me to bring this particular thing up. I was just so embarrassed, you know, and humiliated. And I just felt like a fool. I felt so stupid. And, you know, I couldn't. It's not that I didn't want to talk about it. I just couldn't find the words. And that's the honest to God's truth. I just couldn't come to you guys. You know, if you had come to me, I would have opened up. But, you know, I understand, but I couldn't. It was too much. It was just too much for me at that time, you know?
Okay. Shirley, we get it. Hang on. This strawberry letter's been extended. This is important, y'all. We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this. And we said we're not going to address it. I'm tired of it. And so when this came out, this how the devil worked. I'm going to pile it on. I'm going to go get somebody that worked for me. Because one more time, God don't come. The devil don't come for those he got. He sends the ones he has. So now I'm going to get me a government employee that needs some money, that work at Fulton County. I'm going to get a hold of him. I'm going to release these tapes. I'm going to get him to need a little bit of money. I'm going to give it to this female blogger, and she going to get a little bit of money. And now I'm going to soak them. But the timing of it was ugly because of everything else that's going on right now. And it made it look like Shirley was piling on. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't her intent, but it happened. Like I say, I understand. The part I'm coming with now is because it's been so ugly for my wife, man. And see, this is what I've never done before. It's been so ugly for my wife. And I've stood there trying not to say nothing, but I'm not a blog. Me, Shirley, Carla, Tommy, Mississippi Jr., we ain't a blog. We're a real media platform. And I don't know if you all know what it's like to wake up every morning that we get up, and our job and mission is to brighten your day. And it don't matter how dark our day is. We got the job to be the morning show. And we got to put on the show. And Tommy come in here with Junior coming here off a crisis with sickle cell. Tommy come in here with bad news. Tommy get hit with cancer. Shirley going through her life right here. Carla got a whole family over here. Everybody got crosses to bear. But we got to come in here anyway, and we got to be the morning show. In spite of what's happening in our life, when it ain't funny or fun or inspirational or motivational or informative at all, we just in here trying to make it. So I get it. So what I'm about to do now is clear up a few things. And you know, the comment that came out, it was untimely. You know, but
okay, we got to pause it right here before Steve go off. Okay. This is gonna be a real short pause, and we're gonna get back to it, but I want y'all to pay attention. Okay. I want y'all to pay attention to what just happened. Okay. One, they just created an enemy. Okay. When he called out the blogs, they just created an enemy. It's a lot easier to get people on your side when there's now someone or something to fight against. So instead of fighting against Ernest, right, instead of Shirley being an enemy and the relationship between her and her daughter that a lot of people online have said has been very triggering for them, I ain't gonna get into you people with the triggering situation, okay? Because if y'all be out here getting triggered by all this other kind of stuff, you need to go to a therapist. But that's neither here nor there, okay? But the strategy, they just created a common enemy, okay? You got us. We are here making your day brighter in spite of everything that we're going through in life. Thank you guys for helping me meet the live goal. Keep on tapping for me. Oh, I don't have any shares today. Can y'all share? Nobody has shared, but it's my fault because I didn't ask y'all to share. Can we get 20 of y'all to share? Can we get 20 of y'all to share? People that want to come in the conversation over here on TikTok, please share.
You have 62 down here from what I see.
Do I? Okay, so my screen is just frozen. I'm like, I ain't got no shares. I thought that was odd. Thank you. But this is what he did. He created a common enemy. Did y'all see how that? Y'all see how that just happened? So now it's us against the blogs, because no matter what's happening in our life, we're still here to bring light to your life. We're still here to put on the show. No, through cancer, through sickle cell, through bad marriages, through divorce, through jail, through repos, we're still here. They have humanized themselves, because a lot of times, y'all know, people can't necessarily attached to a celebrity in a relatable sense. So now what they're doing is they're taking themselves down from media figureheads. They're pulling themselves from the position of celebrity, and we just out here trying to make it. Ain't that what regular people say? We're just out here trying to make it. That's literally what they did. So now they have humanized themselves to the level of your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, your church member. Then they brought in God and spirituality. So if you're a person of faith, and if you understand that there's always going to be a lot of attacks before you reach some next level of elevation, right? Now you can relate to that. So again, there's another touch point of relatability, as I spoke to you guys about that earlier. And on top of that, now he said, I've never spoke on this before. I've never done this before. Okay. I'm a big dog. I'm finna protect my wife. What woman out here doesn't love to see a husband going in and protecting his wife and his family? Do y'all, baby, y'all picking up what I'm putting down right now? Right? Since we break this down, can y'all see what's happening?
They set the scene. They set the scene.
The baby, they setting the scene, and they said it well. Okay. Now I'm gonna let it play. That we're gonna come back in for commentary. But I had to touch on that real quick before Steve got in here, before Steve gets in here and he does his next part. But baby, the humanization, to get you to detach celebrity from them and put them in the position of regular people. Okay. The I'm your neighbor. Okay, I'm your friend. To talk about the trials and tribulations that they're all having personally, so you can relate to me. Everything ain't all pie in the sky, right? Because I'm a celebrity and have a lot of money. I don't want you to think about that right now. I want you to think about, I got struggles the same way you got struggles every day, which was brilliant, which was a brilliant move. All right, let's keep going.
Baby.
Dude, hold on. Un momento. I'd have switched up. We're not trying to talk to Funky Dineva right now.
But I will bring you the tea. Well,
hold on, y'all. I lost my video.
Now
on accident. Boom, here we go.
Or fun or inspirational or motivational or informative at all. We just in here trying to make it. So I get it. So what I'm about to do now is clear up a few things. And the comment that came out, it was untimely. But that's why we don't have people in our house. That's why that's why a whole lot of stuff we don't do. But when I come back, we'll be back, and my fat wheezing ass will straighten all this out.
Stop. I said I was sorry.
But I just want to be clear about that. I just wanted my fat wheezing ass going up these steps. I don't be back. I'm not going to let that
You were winded, though.
Well, you sorry all you want. Hell, that's what I heard. Because we sitting up in here and we dealing with stuff, and that y'all just printing lies and rumors, and the viciousness of it is what I'm finna talk about. Now, let me tell you something. Normally, we don't care nothing about your blogs and all this here, but I'm really tired of y'all, man. And you know the sad thing behind all of this? The majority of these blogs, they black people. The very people that we try to uphold and uplift the most. What all of our foundation is about saving and changing the lives of young black people. And then it's the black bloggers that's the nastiest when it comes to all of us. And that's the part I want to get at, and then I'm gonna let it go. Because after today, ain't no more. After today, there will be no more. So when we come back, we'll be more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'm so sick of this strawberry letter. We'll be right back. This woman got in the hole and built this with me. She didn't steal nothing. And I'm tired of y'all talking about my girl. Because my girl is one of the best women I've ever met. And why you black ass people out there got these blogs like you just gonna destroy somebody, I don't really know what that's about. But don't worry about it, because it ain't working. Because all we are now, we are a tighter two-handed circle. Thank you for doing that. And you're not gonna split us up, and we're not going nowhere. And she is none of what you said she is, and she the best chick I know. Now I'm defending her, and you can feel how you want to feel about that. That's the God in me. But now let me give you one piece of Steve Harvey. If I see your ass.
We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this.
All right, we're back. This is the end of the show. It's been a morning.
I'm proud of you, Shirley. I really am.
Yeah, Shirley, I'm proud
of you.
We love
it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to do what you did, to be transparent like this, Shirley. You tell your story. Don't let other people tell your story. In our journey in life, we all make mistakes. Shirley, we all make mistakes. And you have to keep asking God to guide your steps.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah.
Can I say this?
Yeah, man.
We family, and we got family members. There's not a moment that I ain't got on Steve's nerves and he ain't said, and he in a private conversation with somebody else, you know what, Tommy got on my damn nerve today. It's not like we haven't said things that we just say, you know what, the Junior got on my damn nerve. I'm sick of Junior ass. I said that to somebody.
I've said the same thing, Tom.
You know what I'm saying?
This morning before I came to work, actually.
Tommy getting on your nerves. You said it before you opened the mic.
All these damn pictures he's sending, Lord.
Ooh.
Another
You know, man, Carla's right. Tommy's right. Nobody wants their private thoughts brought.
Come on, man.
Nobody. Do you know what would happen if any of us had our private thoughts and private conversation aired? Lord,
yeah, I do.
We wouldn't have no damn. We wouldn't have a morning show. Y'all show wouldn't have a job out there. I just think that we don't live in a world that's forgiving anymore.
Not at all.
We don't live in a kind world anymore. We live in a fallen world. But we do have a lot of huge fans on this show. And we do understand that there's a lot of people who love us. The problem, and I've said it 100 times, is hate is louder than love. But love is stronger. And we all gonna have to learn that lesson. And as much as I want to get out there and change things, and as much as I wish people would stand up and back me more, that ain't the world we live in. We live in a social media climate, and everybody's idea is to tear somebody down to get clicks. And we're just not going to sit here and let you click this sister's life away. And I'm not going to sit here no longer and let you destroy my wife's image and character. It's hard. And we need each other to support each other to show love. Now, look, man, do I expect this to change anything? Probably not. But you know what? At least it feel good to say your piece. Sometimes, man, you just want to be able to say your side of it. Tell your damn story, your truth. Now, are they going to twist it? Yes.
Yes.
Are they going to try to flip it and use it against you? Yes. But I got news for you. Isaiah 54:17 is real. It's the word of God. And I don't care what you do. What God got for me, what God got for you, what God got for Shirley, there ain't nothing you can do about it. What God got for Carla, what God got for Junior, for Tommy, for Monica, there's nothing you can do about it. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. You know what's really crazy, man? Do you know really how YouTube and all this stuff works? Do you know how many tens of thousands of clicks you have to get to make 3 to 5 cents? Do you know how many millions of views you got to have to make thousands of dollars. But here what happened. When y'all jump on that danger tear 'em down trail and you post your video, what y'all do to each other is y'all cannibalize each other. So if y'all would just leave that one video, everybody would have to go there to see it. And that person could profit. But now y'all take it like y'all did your music and you spread it on your site. Now a person can go anywhere and get it. Now guess what? Now ain't nobody getting 1 million views, so don't nobody profit. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I just wish, man, that we as a people would get out the hate business, because the hate business don't pay. I don't know if y'all been watching real close, but if you look at anybody out there that's been in the hate business, that don't look real good right now. I don't know if you noticed that. Listen, y'all, there's a motivational speaker named George White, and this dude, he released something that has kept me, and I play it to myself every day. I'm gonna play this. This is George White, a motivational speaker.
God chose you, so you're gonna have to fight more. You're gonna have to do more. You're gonna have to overcome more, but you're gonna receive more. You're gonna receive more. You who your bloodline been waiting for. And God chose you because he know he can trust you. He know he can trust you. He know you will keep faith when things go bad. He know you that you won't retaliate when people do evil against you. He know that you won't be conformed to this world, but you'll be transformed by the renewing of your mind. By the renewing of your mind, because you chose it. Big dog.
That's the God I serve. That's the God we serve. Shirley, you're our girl. You're our family. All is forgiven. We come into work. Tommy.
One more thing real important, Shirley.
Yes.
At least you don't have to cook no more. You know?
That's
you know
what
what I'm saying?
everything she said. That's what
you know what I'm saying, Shirley? I mean, you ain't got to cook no more, Shirley. Shirley.
Look at the bright side. There's a silver lining.
Put the pots of pans up, Shirley.
Well, I just want to say, thank you guys for letting me finally get that out. I've been holding it in for quite some time.
Yes.
Thank you guys. That's all I can say. And Steve, to you, thank you, of course, for not firing me.
This ain't worth losing no job over. I had way worse stuff happen to me, but it did. I just found out my fat wheezing ass had to
just do some
though.
cardio. That's all.
I'm already got this. Hey, you forgot. That's an old ass tape. You ain't seen me. I'm so fly right now. All right, y'all. Hey, man, y'all keep talking to God. We love you.
Okay, so it's one little part like that she didn't get in there. There's a portion where Steve lays down this timeline. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Like he starts dropping the years of when he met Marjorie. He tells everybody that
I actually have the notes. I did my review early this morning. Oh, I did 4 pages of notes.
You got to know. See, I want them to hear it, because that is a huge part of what Steve did to turn this around, because now you got people that are going to go around and they're going to fact check this. They're going to be looking, right? Because he came out, he was like, yeah, y'all didn't know that whenever I was on tour with the Kings of Comedy, my marriage was already over. He was like, the paperwork may have come out when I was with Marjorie. He was like, but the marriage is already over. And so hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Sure.
Let's see.
Do you mind if I speak, Ashley, as you find it?
Hold on. I got it.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me share a different screen with y'all real quick. Okay, baby, because I was like, wait, because that right there, that's a little important. Because people are obsessed with Steve and Marjorie's relationship. So I thought that was a brilliant move that he made to drop down that timeline as well. I was like, well, come on, Steve. Come on. Okay, here we go, y'all.
Every single product on blackownedamazon.com is from a black-owned business. And not only that, when you buy from this website so that
you can play it all day long. We've been addressing it all. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the recap because we got so many things to go over. But if you've been listening, you've been listening. If you haven't, then you just got to get brought up to speed. We're on the iHeart app. You can play it all day long. You can get this whole interview. Shirley opened up with the apology to me and my wife. And I wanted to make you all aware of the timing of it. My wife and me, we've been getting beat up for the past 2 weeks. But when something like this happens, our motto has always been to never address bloggers.
Right.
And we don't give it no room or steam.
No life.
No, nothing. Because we know who we are and we know whose we are. And so we don't address bloggers. When this came out, it's a little bit different because it's not gossip, rumor, or malicious lie. It came from the inside circle. Because we're inside circle. We are family. And so when it came out, Marjorie is on baby watch right now. We got another grandchild coming, and the baby's due any minute. So Marjorie's over there on baby watch. She's just doing grandmama duty. And Marjorie don't really get into all this right here. And so I didn't really, look, I'm so used to getting beat up, but I didn't know how Marjorie was feeling about everything that's out there. Because these bottom feeders are just beating my wife up. And even though we've made a conscious effort and we said we're not going to address it, I'm tired. And so when this came out, this how the devil worked. I'm going to pile it on. I'm going to go get somebody that worked for me. Because one more time, God don't come. The devil don't come for those he got. He sends the ones he has. So now I'm going to get me a government employee that needs some money, that work in Fulton County. I'm going to get a hold of him. I'm going to release these tapes. I'm going to get him to need a little bit of money. I'm going to give it to this female blogger, and she going to get a little bit of money, and now I'm going to soak them. But the timing of it was ugly because of everything else that's going on right now. And it made it look like Shirley was piling on. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't her intent, but it happened. Like I say, I understand. The part I'm coming with now is because it's been so ugly for my wife, man. And see, this is what I've never done before. It's been so ugly for my wife. And I've stood there trying not to say nothing, but I'm not a blog. We, me, Shirley, Carla, Tommy, Mississippi Jr., we ain't a blog. We're a real media platform. And I don't know if you all know what it's like to wake up every morning that we get up and our job and mission is to brighten your day. And it don't matter how dark our day is. We got the job to be the morning show. And we got to put on the show. And Tommy come in here with Junior come in here off of crisis with sickle cell. Tommy come in here with bad news. Tommy get hit with cancer. Shirley going through her life right here. Carla got a whole family over here. Everybody got crosses to bear. But we got to come in here anyway, and we got to be the morning show. In spite of what's happening in our life, when it ain't funny or fun or inspirational or motivational or informative at all, we just in here trying to make it. So I get it. So what I'm about to do now is clear up a few things. And the comment that came out, it was untimely. But that's why we don't have people in our house. That's why that's why a whole lot of stuff we don't do. But when I come back, we'll be back. And my fat wheezing ass will straighten all this out.
Stop. I said I was sorry. I
just want to be clear about that. I just want my fat wheezing ass going up these steps.
Hold on, y'all. Thought he was finna wrap up to it in the second part. And it's 389 of us watching in YouTube land. I need y'all to go ahead and I need y'all to run on my likes over there in YouTube because my likes are not matching the live viewership over here in YouTube land right now. Okay. Run them up for me. Okay. Thank you for all the likes and all the shares happening in TikTok right now. It's 405 of us over here. I know all 400 of y'all are not following me. So if you're enjoying this type of content, if you like me giving the business breakdown of how they are marketing geniuses, and also how they are saving Shirley Strawberry's behind right in front of us. And I'm putting some things on your mind and breaking down to you all the humanization elements, right? All of the community elements, how they've created a common enemy, all these sorts of types of things. Make sure you give me a follow. I try and train on business at least 3 times a week, because I want to help y'all catch a bag. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I thought I had it, and it cut off right before he gets ready to go into this timeline. When he says he's about to clear some stuff up, he really cleared it up. Braylon, do you have the timeline in your notes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, give it. But I wanted them to hear Steve because, baby,
I get you. I get you, meat.
That he goes in, and it was amazing.
Right.
And again, it was more of the humanization and showing a black man on top of that, protecting his wife and his family. Right.
Absolutely.
And now he's protecting his wife and he's protecting his friend. It, like, the way that they laid this out, I'm telling you, the only opportunity Shirley missed is I wish she would have said something about her daughter. Not a lot, just I hope my daughter and I can make it through this. And I love her, and I hope we can get through this. That's all she had to say. Like, that's the only thing she was missing today.
No, absolutely. And listen, I was saying that to try to help you, but I listen, you and me got the same mindset. We're students. We're students. So he says here, and I quote, "Divorce was over when Kings of Comedy came out." 2005, he lost the LA radio show. I told y'all about that with Radio One, where he had 4 affiliates. And he lost 1 TV show. In 2006, New Year's Eve, Marjorie was in Hawaii with the kids. And, Marjorie, didn't mind getting married, but Steve wanted to get himself together. They got married in 2007. 2008, there was a person on his accounting team that did not file 7 years of tax returns, and because of that mistake, Steve Harvey owed $22 million. Then in 2009, he had Family Feud, and at that point, Family Feud was at 1.5 rating, almost canceled off the air. It was originally taped at Universal Studios, Florida, but because it went to a 5.0 rating, which is 5 million people a day, they taped it in Atlanta. They moved it from Orlando to Atlanta. He came with the book Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Then the series produced by the Woolpacker came out, and then 2012 was the talk show from NBC, Ed Mall, Shine America. That's the timeline that Steve Harvey gave.
Boom. He broke that thing down.
I think it's coming up right after where we stopped at, really.
It is right after where we stopped at. I think I got it. I found it. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me put it on the big screen. Okay. See, that's why you got to have multiple devices. And true tea, I should have been more prepared. Okay. But I'm not. Like I told y'all, I had just finished working out. I was like, we got to get to this because I got other things I got to do tonight. I can't be on with y'all 2, 3 in the morning tonight. So I was like, if we don't get it now, we're not going to get it. But boom, here it is. And I got it right at the timestamp because y'all have to hear this. And Braylon, thank you very much for that very detailed breakdown.
No problem, Queen. No problem.
And as he said and Steve Harvey, I've never heard him come out and give a timeline or a breakdown like that. And so what was fabulous about it is all the people that are blogging about his relationship, that love to bring on the interviews of his ex-wife, friends, enemy, talk about his children, where they live, all of this stuff. Well, now they're going to be obsessed with proving this man wrong, because there's a set of people they do not like Steve and Marjorie. There's a lot of people they are convinced that Marjorie is a villain. Okay, here we go, y'all. Let's see. Boom, right here. Here we go. Okay, let me get it shared over here on the screen. Don't y'all love technology? It's amazing. I remember back in the day, you'd have to have about 6, 7 different devices to get this going. All right, y'all. Everybody listening? We all got our listening ears on. You got your libations. And look, y'all should be through snacking by now. Okay, we started snacking a couple hours ago. But y'all, the brilliance of this, if you're ever in a crisis, please take notes. Please take notes because Shirley has completely turned this into I betrayed Steve and Marjorie instead of she betrayed herself, and I was out here like a village idiot losing all of my assets because I decided to marry a criminal who likes to do things to children and animals.
Rumors and the viciousness of it is what I'm finna talk about. Now, let me tell you something. Normally, we don't care nothing about your blogs and all this here, but I'm really tired of y'all, man. And you know the sad thing behind all of this? The majority of these blogs, they black people. The very people that we try to uphold and uplift the most. What all of our foundation is about saving and changing the lives of young black people. And then it's the black bloggers that's the nastiest when it comes to all of us. And that's the part I want to get at, and then I'm gonna let it go. Because after today, ain't no more. After today, there will be no more. So when we come back, we'll be more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'm so sick of this strawberry letter. We'll be right back. My marriage, I got divorced in 2005. My marriage was over when the Kings of Comedy was out. Y'all ain't know that though, did you? It was over then. It took us this long to get to the divorce. That's when the official paperwork came out. But in 2005, let me hip you to something. I had nothing. I lost the radio show we were on in LA on March 23rd, and I lost the only TV show I had May 10th. Steve Harvey had no money. Got with Marjorie again New Year's Eve, met her, talked to her. She was with her kids in Hawaii. We got together in 2006. We had nothing. She didn't marry into no lap of riches. I had nothing. When I asked her to marry me at the end of 2006, and then she said she wanted to get married in 2007, I sold her too soon. I got to get some stuff together. She said, what? I said, baby, I ain't really got nothing. I'm trying to build. She said, I'm going to get in there and build with you. We got married in 2007. Do you know what I was doing in 2007? Nothing. We had 4 stations in 2005. 4. We built this. All of us built this. We had 4 stations. We turned this into something. But that woman got down in that foxhole with me and turned this into something. In 2007, we got married. In 2008, we found out that somebody had stolen 7 years of my tax returns. I ain't gonna mention no name. And we owed the government $22 million and we in debt. But then guess what? She stayed with me in that. Then guess what? In 2009, I got Family Feud. In 2009, the book came out. In 2012, the talk show came out. I'm telling you, this woman got in the hole and built this with me. She didn't steal nothing. And I'm tired of y'all talking about my girl. Because my girl is one of the best women I've ever met. And why you black ass people out there got these blogs like you just gonna destroy somebody? I don't really know what that's about. But don't worry about it because it ain't working. Because all we are now, we are a tighter two-handed circle. Thank you for doing that. And you're not going to split us up. And we're not going nowhere. And she is none of what you said she is. And she the best chick I know. Now, I'm defending her. And you can feel how you want to feel about that. That's the God in me. But now just let me give you one piece of Steve Harvey. If I see your ass.
We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this.
Baby.
Listen, he did that.
Listen.
He did that.
Listen, okay? Like, again, now the general public, even though these calls have been released, people are now focused on Steve and Marjorie.
Yes, they are.
And I know there are some people that have a counter opinion to me, but Steve stood up for his friend. He helped that one because the reality of the situation is it was going to be extremely challenging for her to be able to get another job, right? It was and if any of you guys listen to the phone calls from prison, there's a point where last year friend is telling Steve says, Shirley, you got to detach yourself from Ernest, and she wasn't willing to do that yet. And he's like, you're too old to be losing everything. And there's a morality clause in your contract. And the people here are looking at you. So the fact that they came out with this spin and Steve is like, you know what? Put it on my shoulders. I'm willing to take the weight. Baby, y'all can say what y'all want to say about that man. But that man, the crew, they have come together to save Shirley Strawberry's image, to be able to save her name, to be able to put her in the position where she's going to be able to earn again and where she can at least keep this job, where she can get enough money to come back. Because remember, through the calls, we've learned Shirley has lost her home. She has had to move in with friends. In one of the calls, she was like, I guess I'll get an apartment and rent it. Her ring was taken from her. Her car was taken from her. She doesn't have any assets anymore. And this had done severe damage to her name. So the way that, do y'all see how they created an enemy for everyone to be against, right? Because their fans are going to be like, these bloggers are terrible. They're awful. These bloggers are trying to tear up their marriage. They're trying to tear up Shirley's family too. These bloggers have to be stopped. So what he did is they literally created an other or an enemy for everyone to be against, versus looking at Shirley and what's going on with her situation. When I told y'all this is brilliant, it's brilliant. I know everybody else is covering this from a bunch of personal stuff, but I'm a business strategist. So I'm going to come to y'all and cover it from a marketing and from a business set, right? When we do business T segments, we're talking about the business T. We're going through legalities. We're going through marketing. We're going through sales. We're going through strategy. And this is why I said y'all have to realize what just happened. The general population does not realize what happened. They're now on the chase so they can try and disprove Steve in his timeline that he laid out with the years and the dates. And the reason I wanted y'all to hear it, because you needed to hear the passion in his voice.
Yes.
It laid down that timeline. And basically, also, y'all notice he called Marjorie a grandma. When have y'all ever heard him refer to Marjorie Harvey as a grandma?
Never. He painted that picture.
Never.
When she's a grandma on baby duty, they have another grandbaby coming in. When y'all look at Marjorie and Steve, no one thinks grandparents. Nobody think they're very fabulous people. And Marjorie is a gorgeous woman. I don't care. Look, y'all can say what y'all want to say. I know y'all like to hate on her. That is a beautiful woman. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, she can get your daddy, your granddaddy. Okay, she may be able to raise the great grandpappy.
Shoot, nephews too. Shit.
They're
anyway.
right. Marjorie she is a gorgeous woman, and she's very fabulous, and she presents herself. She still has a very youthful energy. So when you look at her and Steve, you don't see them as grandparents. And when you hear grandma, because he said she's on grandma duty. He didn't say she's on grandparent duty. She's on grandma duty. When you hear grandma, what type of feeling does that create in your heart space? Right? What type of imagery do you get? Right? We think of grandmas as sweet. We think of grandmas as reliable. We think of grandmas as doting. We think of grandmas as loving, as wise. Right? So that's what I told y'all, baby. This what they laid down today. And people are like, oh, they milked it. We didn't get anything from it. Good. They did their job, because the general population don't realize what just happened. Okay.
You're absolutely right. And and if you don't mind, I'll send you my YouTube video, because I covered it from the soul of this thing. Because like I said, being in the world of media since 2012, I went to Metropolitan Career Technical Center in Little Rock, Arkansas. I want to give y'all some context behind what you just heard. That was not Steve Harvey, Uncle Steve. That was Steve Harvey, the soul. Growing up in Little Rock, Arkansas, I grew up in a village. I was born August 10th, 1994, where I was in a village where if I went over to my auntie and uncle's house, my mom and dad gave them permission. If Braylon does anything, you got permission to whoop him and let us know what he did. Got 2 whoopings from them, went back to my place, made sure that I had all the right pairs of jeans on. You understand? And try my best. Be like, well, listen, I'm a kid and I don't know what I'm doing. And listen, y'all made mistakes too. Oh, never try to throw and do reverse psychology on your parents if you black. Oh, you won't make it. You absolutely won't make it. But to that point, I got 4 whoopings in one day. But that village, though, they saw something in me give a damn about me. And when Steve was given that timeline, he was saying, guess what? Screw this damn radio show. Screw all these people that I've been with for 20 years. This is my life. If I'm going to go out, like I said about Shirley, she's going to go out. If he's going to go out, he's going to stand for something than fall for anything. That was all that village training that was put into him from his dad. And I'll land with this. Y'all know the story about how his mom was a Sunday school teacher. There's a clip on YouTube when he was in Chicago talking about his mom for Mother's Day. Let me tell you something. Just because smiling is a coping mechanism doesn't mean it's pain. So all of that village, and Ashley, you know exactly, because we both from the same state. We don't play. We don't got time to, well, you know, I think it could, but no, we don't got time. Because the more we allow pain to happen, the bigger it is. We try to get ahead of it. But it was a lot of soul. It was a lot of connection, but bigger than that, even if you didn't like them, you at least found something to relate to. So I just wanted to give that soul to it, because now everybody understands what old school is anymore. I've been raised old school, as y'all can tell. So.
It is. And like I said, a lot of people were they were like, oh, it's this, it's that. They took off with the talking points and didn't even realize what happened. So the way that Steve has saved Shirley Strawberry's behind, y'all can say what y'all want to say about that man. And I know it's a lot of people that don't care for Steve Harvey, but what you're not going to say is that he's not a good friend to Shirley Strawberry. I will be hard pressed to believe that he doesn't love Shirley Strawberry the way that he just took this on to give her this lifeline. And it was brilliant the way that they did it. I bet y'all didn't even realize all that was happening this morning during the Strawberry Letter, did y'all? Y'all didn't realize that they were humanizing them, creating relational points, taking them out of the role of celebrity, helping people to have some type of empathy and sympathy for Shirley Strawberry. They created a space where she didn't even have to address the mistress, what was happening with her daughter, right? Her losing a lot of her assets, the fact that her business wasn't in order. She didn't even have to address all of the criminal charges. She was just like, oh, he's in jail. You know, they just kind of skated over it. She didn't talk about the sodomy, the child, the acts against children, those sorts of types of things, the sawed-off shotgun, the bank fraud, the fact that him and Erica King, thank you guys, have stolen over $1 million from people. None of that. She literally focused on, I betrayed my friend Steve and Marjorie, and I added on to the personal things that they're dealing with right now, and I'm sorry for that, and I owe you a public apology. It was brilliant. Okay, it was brilliant. Then you got other people over here mad about how she didn't say nothing. She didn't give us enough information. I'm telling y'all, the only thing she missed, the only opportunity she missed, I just wish she would have said, you know, I'm praying that my daughter and I will be able to revive our relationship or be able to reconcile, and I love her. If she would have did that, she probably would have won over like another 100,000 people. That she didn't have to get into detail about it. But I wish somebody would have given her that little bullet point or that little note to put on there. But other than that, it was freaking amazing. Okay, amazing. Y'all got to learn when y'all watching Masters at Work. And that right there we just saw, that was a master at work, because it all came off as extremely personable, extremely relatable, and Steve Harvey came off as a protector. A big time as a protector. It's a win-win, and they have increased their listenership as well throughout this. L'Oreal, what you got for me, girl? You've been quiet over there.
So for me, it's a couple of key things. As I listen to it, they definitely pulled at your heartstrings, right? Especially when he started quoting the Bible, going at a spiritual level. The first eye-opener for me was the point that she threw at Margie. That was a big eye-opener. But for me, too, when she said, you know, Steve, you coined many years ago a thing called reality radio. There was your new brand marketing right there.
Yes, ma'am.
where they were getting ready to pivot to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She pointed that out. That's why I feel like Steve really loves her, is because she is a fool. She's very green. You know what I mean? She's green. She don't know. She don't know. And she's loyal.
She's a super loyal, and you're right on this reality radio situation. That's why I said, I'm telling you,
They was very
Shirley finna run up a bag.
Shirley one of them people that if you say it around her one time, it's like a light bulb go off on her, and she down for it with it, and she running with it. And Steve loved it. She don't see all of those things going on. Just like she might have saw a bit of something and talked herself out of it when it came to Ernesto. Another thing he did was he sat up there and he went off and rewrote history. Because in my eyes, that's what he did. Like, he rewrote history. As I was listening to that mess, I was like, baby, he done rewrote this whole thing. Because if you don't really pay attention or be in the YouTube streets, because it's not been heavy in any type of, national news, or, it's just broke headlines. It has been about Shirley. Now, true indeed, Steve has had, issues, especially with the second wife in the blogs, more than it has been Margie. And Margie has had her touches and go, but it has not been as deep as these timelines that have come out currently. But it has been about Shirley for many months.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, the phone calls from jail, that's been out since way many months ago, like May-ish.
Yeah.
These phone calls. They have just took up
started
again.
going viral.
They just started going viral, right? So now you want to attach this to your story that's going viral simultaneously when it's been out there. But the headline of Shirley's letter that she actually wrote to the judge begging him for him to be released, I think it outshone that call. And that's not a big blog or a big channel, the phone calls from prison, for it to catch on anyhow. Another thing he did when he created the enemy, he not only created the enemy for the public, he created the enemy for other bloggers to go against each other.
He sure did.
When he
I was gonna talk about that. Yes, he did.
That man did that.
And other black people,
that.
and other black people, the shame of the black people. Look at you, you're nasty.
Yes,
you're out here pushing hate. Yes, he did.
He said y'all sitting up there taking money from each other, which is a known issue, especially in the YouTube community. Yeah. It's because, in bloggers, it's not like it's a real, live newspapers where you have to say your source. It's pretty much, it's like an unknown rule, or it's a known rule, but everybody don't follow it. You know what I mean? And if they do follow it, wonderful. But if it don't, it don't. And you still can get more views than the actual source.
Yes.
Which is not going to have them get any coins. So here they go looking at each other. And the people looking at them. It's just chaos. I said, look at that. Look at that. And then said, come on, if y'all looking for some reality, I'm going to give you some reality radio.
He said, let me throw a little grenade in the room and walk off.
Since y'all just not figuring out all these timelines, I'm gonna give you the timeline. Cause see, the timeline has always been wavy when it comes to the Steve Harvey story. And we can hear certain things, but he tries to discredit the second wife so tough. When she said, Margie, when I called Steve, Margie answered the phone. So now he gone on and told it. Tell it then, Steve. But he went out with a bang. He gonna tell it. He gonna tell it all. He pinned it on everybody and said, and when Shirley said, I couldn't, it just made her so relatable. I was so ashamed.
Yes, I was so ashamed.
I was so ashamed I couldn't come to y'all.
I didn't know how to face anybody. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't think this would be my life, dealing with police and jail. And, she did. Yes. She did spectacular.
If you listen to that and got nothing, something probably is a little bit wrong with you, or you weren't paying no attention. It took me on an emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
That whole thing, I was like,
Let me tell you this, like,
Then I felt bad. Then I said, and I couldn't stop listening. You understand?
Right, because a couple months ago, I think, I can't remember, but y'all know I had the actual document and I read the letter that she wrote to the judge to try and get Ernest out. And so that's why I was, and even back then I said, y'all, I said Shirley needs to come out in public and just cry. She needs to come out in public, she needs to cry. But that's what she did today. She basically came out to the public and she cried. And she needs to keep crying for a few more days.
She does. She does. And then look, when he said iHeartRadio app, I thought to myself, "Ooh, I need to go download," because that's what people finna do. Because he said he's saying it's gonna be no more. We all waiting to hear something else. So here we come to listen. You understand? If you fell off, I grew up listening. I grew up in Dallas, so he was definitely here in my area with the morning show. I grew up listening to him.
I did too. My daddy would listen to him and Tom Joyner in the morning when he was taking us to
Tom Joyner
school.
morning show.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I'm like, man. But that was something else. I said he done pinned them against each other and everything. Boy, he got down.
He got down and he did it. And he did it in such a nice way, in such a likable way.
It was so honorable.
It's so honorable. It was incredible to see. Now, speaking of honor, I got about 275 of y'all still over here watching in YouTube land, but I only have 126 likes. Now, y'all know how YouTube algorithm works. Liking is free, okay? I'm not out here asking y'all for super chats or anything like that. I do need to turn it on though, because y'all was asking. So like it, okay? Like it and share. Can I get another 25 of y'all in YouTube land to like this? That would be great. Thank you, thank you. You guys, thank you. Y'all are doing great with the likes in TikTok land. Thank you for those of you who have contributed to my live goal right now. Queen Wilson, Miss Jackson 07, and Transformational BFF. Thank you so much, baby. I definitely got to slack. Y'all start slacking on your tapping over here in Instagram. Instagram be doing me so dirty. They say they love me and they be trying to act jealous because they like, you traded us in for TikTok. But I mean, on TikTok and YouTube, at least they act like they love me over here. At least they send me likes, they send me gifts and stuff. Instagram, y'all just want all my information for free. You just want all of it for free, but you don't want to give back to me. I'm tired of y'all. I'm sick of y'all. I'm just joking. I mean, but I would appreciate some likes though. That would be nice. That's the least you can do in these streets. Faith, what you got on it, girl?
I think they're going to be okay. She's, like I said, she's going to come up on her own where she be able to get back things that she lost. I believe they had a meeting about all of this that has transpired and everything. Steve is now up there protecting his wife and take that focus, because before, about 2 weeks ago, they were like, Steve cheated. I mean, not Steve, Margie cheating on Steve. So he stopped all of that. Changing the narrative about his wife, and he gonna speak the truth of them and put it out there. They gotta tell.
I don't think that he changed the narrative about his wife, because people are still they're still gonna believe what they want to believe. But what he did is they really took the heat off of Shirley, so people would kind of be more focused on he and Marjorie again. Yeah.
Yep. And then what else? He like he said, they never talked about it, and they never addressed it. They never did all of that. So now it's his time to bring it out and protect.
It was because he literally tied himself to something that kind of didn't have anything to do with him. Because I'm telling y'all, if y'all listen to the calls, what Shirley Strawberry said about Steve and Marjorie was very minimal. Okay. Like that, very, very extremely minimal. What it was is once she mentioned them, because everybody knows Steve Harvey has a big name, then they were like, okay, well now we can attach Steve's name to it. They'd already been trying to attach his name, but that's where they really ran with. I mean, the thing she was saying is that like, oh, Marjorie has a salon. I wish I had a salon in my home so people could give me massages or come and do my hair. She did say that Marjorie treats them like the help, or she feels like Marjorie treats them like the help. She did say that, but I mean, at the end of the day, is that really the worst thing that you can say about somebody? Like when we get into all of these other things that have been disclosed from these calls, that was really the tea. It really wasn't exactly. It wasn't even really an issue, but they created an issue there. So, and like I said, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. They were like, hey, we're gonna take this opportunity, create another issue. It's gonna put Steve in a really great light. It's gonna give Shirley a life raft, and we're gonna help salvage the fans and the base of the family that we already have. We may be able to convert a few more people over that are on the fence, and we're going to drive viewership, and we're going to drive a bag up with the commercials. They did that. They did that. Auntie Pearl, what you got on it, girl?
Oh, honey, I'm with you. I have to say that this was a very honorable thing that Steve did. And I really like the fact when he sat there and said, I can handle this. I can do this. Let me bear the weight of it. I can handle this. So to me, in that moment, when he felt that fierce to open up and say that, to me, I saw so much deeper into it that this man was literally saying, he putting anything on the line at this point. It don't even matter because he's about to protect those two women around him that he loved. And I feel like that's exactly what he did. He went in for what he knew. He didn't go overboard. He was still respectful with the things that he said. And I just think it was honorable. I admire it. And I'm proud of Steve. I think he did a very great job protecting those two women and his life, and also opening up a door for Shirley to write a book and possibly a Lifetime movie.
Amen. Thank you, Faith. Faith just made it rain on me. Thank you, Faith.
All right, Faith.
Thank you, Faith. All right. We are in open discussion now because I got questions for y'all, and I want to know what y'all think about this. Also, if you're in TikTok land, I saw a lot of you guys in the comments asking how do you come up. All you got to do is send a request, and I can bring you up. For any of you guys that are just getting here, we were listening to the live Strawberry letter from this morning. So Shirley Strawberry was addressing the commentary that she made about Steve and Marjorie, and also about her real life Strawberry letter situation. Her husband has been locked up for over 400 days. He has a myriad of charges against him. Some of them are bank fraud, operating a credit repair company illegally, cashing fraudulent checks, carrying a sawed-off shotgun, inappropriate images and activities with children and animals, sodomy, 5 counts of conspiracy to commit felonies, theft by taking, theft of services. And he has 5 counts of acts against children, by the way. Also, he and Erica King stole over $1 million. They promised people that they were going to help them build their businesses, never rendered services at all. What else? It's a lot. It's a lot that was going on. During the calls, Shirley basically revealed that she was Shirley Strawberry's daughter and her grandchildren are also victims of Ernesto. During the calls, it was revealed that Shirley tried to stop her daughter from filing the restraining order. Also, throughout the duration of the calls, we learned that Shirley has lost her properties. Shirley does not have any money. She's had to move in with friends. Shirley lost her car, and then they came and they took Shirley's wedding ring. Apparently, Ernesto put 20 bands down on the ring, but it wasn't his. It was fraudulent, and in the process, they found out that he had stolen $250,000 from another lady. Also, on the calls they released, you can hear the conversations between Ernesto and his mistress. He was like, girl, show me your chi-chis. Okay, show me your cha-chas. But he didn't say it like that, okay? She was talking about how she was sending pictures and how she's in love. And there's several conversations where she's very aware that he's married to Shirley, but this woman doesn't care. And that's another reason why I tell you, ladies, you find a man who wants to be faithful. You get with a man who honors fidelity, okay? Because in these streets, these women don't care. Blink, 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 okay? Y'all can get mad at women all you want to. These women do not care. Okay. They see what you got. They want it. It is what it is. All right. So that's where we're at. I have actually broken down the strawberry letter to talk about the brilliance of it from the marketing and from the branding aspect, and also, highlighting for you guys how they actually pulled a deflection rabbit out of the hat so that now people are focused back on Steve and Marjorie's relationship instead of being focused on Shirley Strawberry. Shirley took the position of, I betrayed my friends, Steve and Marjorie. She didn't really spend too much time talking about Ernesto, his crimes, the relationship with her and her daughter, the mistresses. No, she didn't really speak a lot about that. She spoke mostly about how she portrayed Steve and Marjorie and apologizing to them, which was brilliant because now people are focused on that instead of all of this other muck. In genius, whole entire genius. Now, questions for you guys that are up here today. Question number one.
Girl, let me hit you with the first question.
You gonna hit me with a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I got to hit you with this one, baby. I got to. The other lady that is on the other device, what is her name?
L'Oreal.
Okay, is that the sister that was up here about a week ago? She was up here. And you guys were discussing a lot of the business things, telling us how to be and how to have good customer service skills and stuff. Is that her?
No, we got a new lady over here on YouTube tonight.
Okay, that's fine. But so this question, I thought she was her, but it's for more of you ladies and gentlemen that are in the business world. I need to know, are we more vulnerable to these type of attacks of deception while we are looking for love? The older we get, do y'all feel like that we are more prone to these type of attacks?
I think that's going to depend on what generation you come from. And the reason I will say that is because some of these younger girls, they are very anti-marriage. They will tell you they don't want a man. A lot of them think men are the boogeyman compared to some of the older generations. I think it was more important for them to have a marriage, to be in a relationship. So I think it's going to depend on your age. So if you find with a millennial, and I will say this, if it's a millennial that's 35 up, you don't know which side of the coin we'll end up on, because a lot of that depends on how we were raised and what was important inside of our community. But for a lot of the younger girls, literally some of them have a deep disdain for men. They view marriage as slavery. They don't look at it as something that's fun. They have seen a lot of very, very negative examples. So for them, I don't think that they're going to fall into the category as they become older. They're going to be more susceptible to things like this, because in their life plan, they don't plan on getting married anyway. They're just like, I'm going to go around. Some of them, they have no desire to be mothers. A lot of them don't either. They're like, I don't want the responsibility. So they're not family focused or family driven. Now, if you meet a woman who's family centered and she's family driven, absolutely, positively, I think as she ages, she may become more susceptible to these types of scams, because what you'll notice is just not with women, with men and women, with people in general. The older they get, and once they start realizing some things about themselves, some of the standards or the requirements that they had to say, you have to meet this to be in a relationship with me, they will start to fall. They start to become a bit less stringent. Sometimes as they get more in reality, they realize, you know what, maybe I don't qualify for what I thought that I qualified for. And sometimes you're dealing with people that are just kind of giving up hope. They start thinking it just may not happen for me. So especially if you've been dragged in a prior relationship, well, if you're like, well, this guy or this girl is better than the last person I had, and it could be worse, right? And if you're comparing yourself to other people, then yeah, I think there's a higher propensity. And I'll be honest, I don't really like to use the desperate word, but I will say in this instance, I do feel like Shirley was a bit desperate for a man, because I don't understand why she would accept a woman. I'm not talking about her caliber as far as career wise, just any woman. I don't know why any woman would take on a man who is still an active criminal. This is not a situation where he reformed, and changed his life. This man has literally been involved in criminal activity since the 80s. He started getting felonies in the 2000s. Okay, with a 9-9 and a 2-2. Okay, he's been arrested several times. He's shady. He did a lot of business transactions with shady people. So this is like, how some people, they make mistakes in their past, and there's, I'm not going back down that path, and they get it right. He was still on the same path. So I will never for the life of me understand why any adult woman would attach themselves to that. Then on top of him being a current criminal, he was not adding to her life, right? Because in the call, she was like, I have, like, y'all, it's so sad in a lot of those calls. She's just like, I have nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing. That right there, a man typically, if he loves you, he wants to come and try and add to you in some way. He wants to try and be of a benefit or some type of, service or help. He wants to try and improve your life in some type of way. So just from like basic dynamics of man, woman, she missed a lot of that. And it seems almost like she possibly could have been in the position of maybe even being like a sugar mama towards him. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure, because in that call, she literally, in one of those calls, she's like, well, what is my money going towards? Because he ended up not getting released from the bond. She was feeling like Ernest should have been out by then. And he says, I'm paraphrasing, he basically says something like, he says something like, well, basically you're paying for the case to be heard in trial, right? But she was frustrated because she's been chipping in money, putting up money for these attorneys and carrying on. So from that aspect, and like Braylon said, we grew up in Little Rock. Okay, it's banging in the rock. I may be all cute with good skin and eyelashes and carrying on. However, and yes, I conduct myself like a lady, but I'd have been around the other side more often than y'all think. Okay, and I know a lot of people on the other side. And so any of the real G's that I know, they would never let their girl go down. These are men, right. These are men that have stockpiles of money, because for them, it's not if I get caught up, it's when I get caught up. They already know dealing with the law is a part of what they're doing on a regular basis. Exactly. And so they have stockpiles of cash that are set up for the attorney. They have stockpiles of cash that are set up for their girls and for their kids to be able to make it for a year, 2 years, maybe even sometimes 3 years. Some of those guys from behind the bars are still able to call on favors from other people and be like, hey, I know you owe me 20 bands. You need to meet up with my girl and take it over there because XYZ. And because they true hood captains, the hood's still gonna move for them. So that so that was very odd to me that he's been getting felonies for over 20 years. Okay, this man's been getting felonies since before I was alive. So he's been arrested several times before. So it's like, what's coming. And that was very disheartening to me that he didn't give her a heads up. He should have been saying, baby, they're gonna come for your stuff. Babe, you need to get everything, anything that's attached to us together, like separate yourself from it. Babe, you need to go cash out, and do XYZ element of P. Babe, you need to have this stockpile. Babe, okay, it's time for us to move out of this big house. I got to put you in a condo or an apartment or something, so I know it can be sustained while this is happening. So the fact that he kept letting her walk into fire after fire after fire after fire shows he has no care for her. And when he would be on the phone call, y'all, he was wearing me out. All he kept saying was, wow, what?
Oh, yes, he was.
Wow.
He was making me mad.
What? What? Wow.
Everything was just like a dream. Like, no, you knew you was out here reckless. You knew you was using that woman for her money. Don't sit here and keep saying wow. And then you want to talk to the other woman and ask her to show her boobies. Boy, please, if you don't sit down, you finna have a pipe for the rest of your life. So you might as well sit on down. You ain't gonna see no more chi-chis unless they connected to another man.
Right. So he has no respect for her. He ain't got no respect for the relationship. There was no care, no empathy. Even whenever she was like, I have nothing, he was like, well, just start over. You're telling a woman that's almost 70 years old to just start over. But I don't fault him. I fault her because she knew how much she had to lose before she got into that relationship with him. Right.
And she was desperate, like before he even proposed on the Strawberry Morning, on the morning show, whatever. And the daughter helped him. It wasn't even Steve that arranged the engagement. It was the daughter that made the connection for him to get on the show and, ask for her hand in marriage or whatever. But for me, it's the caliber of the person that he is. His character isn't that for himself. So how is he to give it to Shirley? And when you have aggravated assault and aggravated robbery, you're a low life. It's a different caliber of criminal. Where it is, like you said, there's certain dudes in the hood stockpile. And Marge, you know who that is allegedly, because she was set up allegedly in that manner. You understand? But I don't think he's that person. I think he's very slimy. And starting over is something that he frequently did, because he was a crash dummy.
Absolutely.
So I just think, and he was too young. I think she put herself out there, nation, like they said, reality radio. She put herself out there every morning, making little notes about when her man, and everybody was so excited for her. But she didn't do her homework, and she didn't care. He was too young for her in the beginning, if you ask me. And she just was excited to have someone. But as far as women in older age, they do have to be careful, because the morality of dating is totally different from when you may have dated before. People have changed. And if you get a man like Ernesto who think he's hip and young in one instance, like Jekyll and Hyde, you got to be careful. Make sure it's somebody that's equally matched with you. Do your homework and take it slow. I don't think that there are going to be some people out that's going to come after you, to attach yourself to you, especially if you're doing something good in business. But just be careful and keep your eyes open, and don't fall for the okie doke or the Disney World. If I met this wonderful man, do your homework and take it slow.
I think doing your homework and also looking to see if that man is asking you for something. You know what I'm saying? Like a real man is not going to be out here, even if he makes less than you, he's not going to be out here asking you to like pay his bills or put up on things. He's not going to do that. So even that, I think, is an indication, if this guy's expecting you to reach down in your purse and pay your way in your homeboy's way. Ain't that what Erykah Badu said? You have to look at that too, because I know, I'll be honest, I've out-earned not all men, but almost every man I've dated since my 20s. Because I hit my first milli when I was like 27. And when I was dating guys that were like athletes, or, maybe they're different. I just like, oh, I just dated you, just say I dated a football player or a baseball player or something. But I wasn't looking to build a life with them, because I know a lot of those guys struggle in the area of fidelity. And that's really important to me. Right. Then I dated some trust fund babies. Well, the problem with a lot of trust fund babies, because they know they got money coming, they don't necessarily have the work ethic or the ambition that I'm attracted to in a man. I dated some older guys, right? And we had a lot of fun. I was a pretty young thing, but they didn't want kids. There's a couple of them that said, well, I give you a baby. And I'm like, I don't want you to give me a baby. I want us to have a baby, right? So anyway, when I dated a lot of men my age, most of them, I out-earned them. And so when I would be dating those type of men, though, they never would ask me to pay for anything. You know what I'm saying? I remember one of them, like, they would never ask me to pay for anything. They didn't ask me for gifts. They didn't expect me to put up my money. They actually worked overtime, because they wanted to make sure that I knew, like, I'm a man. Like, yeah, you earning this much, but I can still take care of you. You know what I'm saying? So I think any woman that's in business, if she actually has some type of substantial amount of assets and cash, you watch when you're dating that man, if he's expecting you to come, open up your purse, or is he going into overdrive to prove to you that he can take care of you and that he doesn't want anything from you financially. I think that's like the first dead giveaway. Is this man out? Is he on Spokio and LinkedIn and researching you on social media, or is he actually just trying to get to know you? Because a lot of times that men, I never told them, how much I made or what I did. I never did. Like they be like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a consultant. Oh, or I do events. That's it. You don't need to know that I own the event company or the consultant agency. That ain't your business.
Right. Yeah.
I will.
That's true.
I will definitely say this, and this is a quote I live by. Anyone can be a present to entertain you, but it takes somebody to be a gift to bless you. And I got that from, this is going to show my age, but I don't care. At this point, I'm home with y'all. So you remember the Toys R Us toy book, right? Write down 100 things you want. Write down 10, then write down 1. You'll get that present, play with it for 2 to 3 days or 4 to 5 days. And your dad or your mom or both will ask, you ain't really playing with that. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but it was the anticipation of it. But presents are designed, gifts are created. And presents take your attention away. Gifts gives you purpose. So when it comes to dating, and also this is for business too, you have to look at everything as if you are about to walk into a business deal. If you know that profit wouldn't make you better, you shouldn't take the deal. And I have come to realize that for myself, that at the end of the day, young or old, you could be smart and kind. Young or old, you could be dumb and an asshole. So at that point, it's up to you to be about not just the connection that you make, but the investment. And I'll land with this. At the end of the day, people can either be problems or they can be solutions. And one thing about women is women have problems coming to them every day. If you can come to them as a solution, that's when you're changing the game. But you have to be willing to showcase over time that you can stay a solution. Boys and girls want spontaneity. Men and women want security. It's not that they don't want you to be spontaneous. They just want to see that you can handle your bag and your responsibilities before you can get the fun side of them. That's just a little tip from me.
Thanks. I like it.
Yeah.
So this is my question, y'all. This is what we're going to end it with tonight. I want to know if these phone calls from prison had not been released and gone viral, do you all think that Shirley would be divorcing Ernest?
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes because he ain't getting there. I'm gonna say yes too because it seemed like the calls have dropped. And I feel like when her funds got super low, when she wasn't putting no more money on that phone, something was clicking in.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt like it took her to hit rock bottom.
Yep. No, I totally agree. And they actually dropped it.
She probably would have stayed with him.
Yeah, I agree. And they dropped another call as we were live on the air. But no, I agree because at the end of the day, like you said, Laurel, so articulately as you often do, sometimes you have to be with yourself, of yourself, and by yourself to know what you can deserve for yourself. And sometimes time and space can really can help you make your decisions when you don't even have your own mindset to think of what decisions to make. So
that's true.
Amen. I like that.
Ashley, may I speak?
Yeah.
On dating and older women. I fall in that category. I'm what they call a baby boomer, and I was just on a live earlier today, and there was a situation, and I have found that once you are established, your lifestyle, and you have your own income, you become prey because it's so easy for someone to find out everything about you by just having one part, just one thing, one major information about you, maybe an address, maybe a full name. It's not hard to find out about a person. and possibly their finances. Because I'm finding now on TikTok that there are a lot of influencers that are going into people's personal information to find out about them.
Yes.
And I have been on TikTok quite a bit, just trying to learn the whole system and how it works and, who does what. And I'm finding that there's a lot of people that prey on others because they can get the information. And I can't be real specific because I don't want to call names and I don't want anybody to figure out who I'm talking about. But me, myself, I have found that I will go into a live, and time I click into that live, that influence will automatically bring me up and start asking me questions that I wouldn't say that are inappropriate, but
are they invasive?
Yes, they are. And here's why. Because certain questions an influencer will ask me will let me know that influencer has looked into my personal information.
Well, girl, send me a DM so I can stay away from them because I ain't got no time.
I will. And here's the thing. I'm single. I want to be married, whatever. But I've come to realize just in the last 24 hours that I need to be very, very careful because I could become another Shirley, a Strawberry, okay? Because if I'm not rich, but I have.
But you well-to-do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've had influencers, and it really hurts me. I mean, I was like in tears driving home. I was like, this person pretended to be my friend, but I know that they're talking about me to their other friends, TikTok friends, because of things that they're saying, and I'll come in to the live and not really announce myself, but I'll hear them saying things that I know they only have 4 or 5 people in the room, and I know they're talking about me. And I'm like, why would you pretend to be so friendly and that you really like me and that you like we're buddies, but then you're talking about me, and that really hurts. And I'm like, I might not have a PhD, but guess what? I went to college. I know people vibes. I can feel, I can feel your energy when you're just being real phony with me, but then you're talking in the cut about me, So I just, on TikTok, it has taught me so much. And I've been on TikTok a lot. I mean, like 24/7, just because I wanted to know a lot of things. And TikTok has been like so revolutionizing to my life because I did not realize that people of color display so much of hate towards one another. I'm like, this is so unreal. I cannot.
Kirk, if I could just tell you something real quick. Yeah. My daddy, he has never, ever had too much of a strong appetite to date younger women. His appetite has always been for older women. My mom is even older than him. And one thing that I can tell you is a man is a man is a man, okay? Yeah. So even though he would date older women and it came with them already most of the time being established or at least having something of their own that means their home, their vehicle, they've always been self-sustained, right? However, because of the man that he is, I have never, ever seen him be with any woman that he did not provide for. It did not matter what she had, how independent she was. None of that mattered because he's always taken care of any woman that he's been with, which means he will go to work every day and still provide. He making sure if she like to get her nails done, they done. He don't care if it takes the last little dollar off his check. If it keeps her from spending her money and knowing that he can handle things, that was enough for him. I've never seen him not take care of a woman, and I've never seen him with a woman who didn't have anything as well. But he's always taking care of his women. So do not think because you may be up in age, that you have to accept that, because honey, I ain't never seen my daddy do it, and he's not one of those men who are well established in life and got everything and balling out of control. He's just the average man, but he will take care of his woman to the bitter end.
Right. I appreciate hearing that, because
Yeah.
after today's live that I went into, and I've been in like 2 different lives, and I'm like, I'm just so disappointed in my people, because we've had so many struggles, and instead of us pulling together, like we're just pulling each other apart. We're just tearing each other up. We're just ripping each other up.
Well, hang out over here, girl. Just hang out over here. So this is the thing, online and offline, right? Your vibe is always going to attract your tribe. So you learning, you're like, okay, I need to stay out of here because that's not my people. And now what I'm about to say, people feel some type of way about me when I say this, but y'all know I felt this way for years. There is a distinction. Is ninjas, and then we got the people at the spore that's trying to do something. And sometimes you gotta let the riffraff be with the riffraff. It just is what it is. And if it's too much negativity, if it's too much on the lower vibrational, if you don't want to deal with the crabs in the bucket, you come over to the side with the people where we build bridges together, we build ladders together, we elevate each other, we hype each other up, right? We're like, even this live, like I could have definitely, the whole time I've been covering this story, I could take very negative like stance on it, but instead I'm like, no, let's talk about it from a business perspective. Let's talk about it from a marketing perspective. Let's talk about it from crisis management, right? And what they're doing right. So you right. So you find your community and you say, you know what? I like these people, and I'm going to roll with these people and find more of these types of people. And I'm sorry that you had that experience with that other influencer, but I'm going to tell you this, baby, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's a part of what comes with being a public persona. I've had people flat out do whole entire live streams where they make fun of my voice. I've had people research where I live to see if I really own the properties and things that I say. I've had people try and get into my business. I have a girl right now in my inbox trying to accuse us of saying like when I do the giveaways that I'm not really doing the giveaways, but I am doing the giveaways, but she's trying to say that I'm not, and that I'm trying to take basically how I have y'all fill out a form when y'all win. Like I'm trying to take it to the IRS fraudulently, right? All kinds of stuff. People calling me, threatening to like put the people in my life, call, like it just comes with the territory. Some of them have like very negative things to try and say about my husband. Even when he and I got together, I had to explain to him, like, baby, you sure you want to be with me? Because once we get together, it's gonna be people in your business. Just because they're digging around trying to see if they can find some type of dirt on me, which they won't. I have people accuse me of being a scammer on a regular basis, only to come out and be like, "Boo, this is not." Have to drop receipts. Like, just understand that if you're going to become a public persona, there are going to be some people that like you. There are going to be some people that can't stand you. There are people that literally roll around on the planet Earth with destructive energy, and anybody they meet, anyone they encounter, you're correct, they do want to tear them down. But on the other side, there are people on the planet Earth, very healing energy, very communal people that really want to come together. They want to support other people, right? Even if they don't really care for you, they're not going to bother you. You say, that's not my cup of tea, and they're going to move on in the other direction. And so your goal is, once you identify these other types of people, all right, noted, I know who you are. Let me remove myself from that environment and let me move towards, let me move in an environment or in a space where there are other people that have more of a similar mindset. Not necessarily that you guys agree on everything, but you have the mindset of how we're going to treat one another, and we're not going to purposely try and hurt each other.
Absolutely. Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the good is gonna always outweigh the bad, but you have to recognize it. And also, it's not just people of color. In my industry, it's a lot of people. I see a lot of things. Be careful with the people who latch on to you as friends too. It does not have to be, a dating relationship. I've seen people latch on to people to try to see what they can get and use, and my friend this, and laugh in the background and shop away. Be very careful. So find it. You'll find the right vibes. If you feel it in your heart, this is right. And just go towards your tribe. You'll find your good people. And the good people is wonderful. So don't be afraid of making connections and networking, on social media. It is a powerful tool. But just be careful with any and everything. Just, you woke now. You see stuff for what it is. So like you said, move around and find
God wanted you to know that person wasn't your friend, because I pick up this vibe from you that you're probably the type of person, if you're friends with somebody, you probably really have their back. You probably really give a lot. You probably are supportive. You probably put your time, your finances, your energy behind those type of people. Because I'm the same way. Like I'm a friend. So God probably wanted to let you know, like, hey, this ain't who you think it is, right? Let's move around so that way you can see exactly who they are and what they about before you get too close to them. So it's really a blessing.
Right. I am that friend. I'm with you when you're up and when you're down.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's a beautiful quality to have. But I'm going to tell you something I had to learn. Okay. If you're a giver and you have a big heart, sometimes we got to sit back and chill and see if we're really supposed to give to those people. Because if we're sowing on stony ground, then we out of order, right? You're supposed to sow into fertile ground. So if you're sowing somewhere and it's not going to produce, then that's on us, right? So we got to be able to take our portion too. And anytime that you're given to a point that you're empty, well, now you're operating in dysfunction. And that's not really what God has called for you. That's not what he's called for any of us. So I'm a big believer in mutually beneficial relationships. And let me be clear, I'm not saying that I do things for people so I can get something in return. Not that at all. But I want to be around people that value me and love on me the way I'm going to love on them. So for example, if I'm out with a group of friends, let's say let's say I want to do the chef's table, and I know the chef's table costs $500 a person, and maybe some of my friends don't have the $500, right? I have the type of friends, I may pay for the chef's table, but you know what them girls will do? They'll say, well, I can't afford the dinner, but we can pitch in and do the tip. Oh, somebody else will say, let me do the valet. One of those girls, they may say, I ain't got the money, but I know you over here trying to repaint your new warehouse. Girl, I'll come over there. I'll be over there every day this week and I'll help you paint. You understand? So we have a relationship where, like, no, I'm not looking for you to match me with financial things, but I'm looking at your heart. They the type, they'll be like, dang, Ashley been slammed. I know she been swamped. I have friends that will literally come over here and do my laundry and bring me dinner, and they'll say, let me take this to the dry cleaner for you. You know what I'm saying? Just as a way to pour into me because of the nature of our relationship, the same way I would do those things back for them. So whenever you're looking at that in a relationship, you look to see, when I deal with this person, do I feel good after I deal with them? Or is it every time I have an encounter with them, I'm drained?
Absolutely.
So now you operating in dysfunction, and you got to say, okay, God, why do I keep choosing to sow seeds on stony ground?
No, that's very true. There's a clip of Bishop T.D. Jakes and Oprah when they did Life Class from MegaFest. Bishop T.D. Jakes said, sometimes in life, you have a gallon-sized capacity to love. Mm-hmm. But there are people that can only take you in pint-sized capacities. Look up that clip. Because let me tell you something. Sometimes that's very true, that, you're a 10-gallon tank, they're a pint-sized capacity. It's not so much of the love you have to give, is it valuable? It's just they don't have enough room to receive it. So you have to find somebody that can match your energy.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I hear you.
God pulling you in the right direction, Curve Appeal.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And you're very protected because you saw that early on with that person before they got too close to you, and they could really do some damage in your life.
Right. Well, I've been praying and asking God to direct me as far as who I should associate myself with on TikTok.
Girl, it can be a challenge, honey. Just lay back and watch, okay? It's wild in these social media streets. I will tell you that, because there are some people, they literally build their platforms off of drama and beef. And I get it, you know what I mean? People like controversy or whatever, and that's what they like to do. There's another channel I see, and I'm not gonna say this creator's name. It's like I consider them, it's like the Jerry Springer of TikTok. I've never, when you're swiping through the line, I've never seen a time where people in having like peaceful, normal conversation like what we're having right now. I mean, people literally go to this page just to confront each other. It's wow, like all the time, right?
I know what you're talking about.
That ain't really my vibe. You know what I'm saying? So like shout out to that creator, and they doing what they got to do, but you're not gonna find me, you know what I'm saying, in that type of space on a regular basis, because for me that's a lot. That's draining for a person like with my type of temperament. I'm like, like I get we gotta fight sometimes. I get it, may get a little heated sometimes, but it's all the time, constantly. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? That's too much. There are some people out here, they build their whole channels on exposing people. That's all they want to do is expose people. Well, you know what? I don't like being around people that are so vested into other people's business, not because they're trying to help, not because they're trying to learn from it, but because they're trying to tear something up, and you got destructive energy. All right, shout out to you for doing that. I'm gonna move on over here, right? so like you just kind of go around, you view, you see, you watch the content, see what you can learn about that person, and then you say, okay, I think I found my spot. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes that'll lead you to a couple or more spots, and then you can start working on your brand alignment. You can start working on collaborations. You can decide if you want to sit in on their panels and contribute to conversation, right? If you want to be in the comments, if y'all want to do offline events together, right? All those sorts of types of things. That's the way that you move around with that. And sometimes it takes a minute to kind of find like, okay, I like this one here, I like that one there, I like that one over there. And you just kind of build it up over time, because there are some creators on here I absolutely would love to, see them, meet them in person. And it's some creators that have sent me an invitation for like, oh, you should come to this. Well, thank you for the invite, but I'm currently booked. And it's gonna stay that way, because I don't want to be nowhere near in the vicinity with them, because I see it's a bunch of wreckage and carnage with everybody that they deal with.
Right. Thank you for the advice.
You got it, girl. We excited for you. Everybody in the kingdom, we're all excited for you. Transformational best friend, thank you for all the hearts, love. She's making it rain on me right now. Thank you. Look, girl, all of us, I've been doing this. I feel like 10 years I've been online in front of the camera.
My goodness.
I've been doing it for a while, so I've seen a lot of people.
You've seen a lot.
I've seen a lot of people come and go. I have seen a lot of scammers, because trust me, y'all like me, but people that are scammers, they don't like me, because I'm one of the few people that'll tell the truth. And at this point, people can't even come up against me. They leave me alone.
Oh, I've had one.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all laughing because I know it's true. Like,
oh yeah.
I already know. If I say it, if I get on it, people will bring me in sometimes just because they know I'm going to tell the truth. People will call me and they be like, hey, they be like, somebody call Ashley, because Ashley is going to tell the truth about what really happened, who really said what, who did what. Who. I'm a person. I love you. But even as a friend, if I love you, now I'm not going to tell you publicly you're wrong, but privately I'll be like, you're wrong. And if you're doing some stuff and I'm like, yo, I got to talk about this publicly, I'm just giving you a heads up. Hey, it is what it is. But
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's just how I am. That's just how I get down. And some people really like that about me, and some people really can't stand that about me. People that are nefarious and they're here to be vultures on our community. Oh, they don't like me at all. Okay. And I got people, they feel some type of way about me because they got to partner with 9 other people to host an event, and I can do an event by myself and still bring more people than they can bring. And they feel some type of way about that. But I understand the energy that I have. I'm a person that either I intimidate people or I inspire people. I'm not an in-between. Either you really, really, really like me or you really don't like me. And that's fine. And I understand that. I know I'm here for leaders. I know I'm here for people that are meant to impact and influence other people. And I know that sometimes some people read, especially that I'm a woman, they read me being comfortable in who I am and my position of power. They read it as arrogance and they don't know what to do with it. And then some people, they go, I like her. I like her because she's honest. I like her because she's helpful. I like her because she really wants to see people win, and she understands in order to see me win, she has to tell me the truth. So, some people, they're going to say, oh, we love Curve Appeal Apparel. And some people going to be like, oh, I don't know about her. That's fine. We ain't worried about the people that don't know about you. We go into where we love. That's how you do that.
Right. Thank you so much for listening.
Oh, you're welcome, and I'm sorry that happened to you, girl.
And let you know, I met you on Laura's Live.
We did meet in Laura's Live.
Yeah, and that's how I followed you. And you guys are the only ones that I jump into the lives. I don't go into anybody else's lives and support.
Oh, thank you so much, Faith. I appreciate that.
Your energy is same like me, but I don't. I've been in the camera since I was 16. I've modeled all my life, even after having 4 children. I was voted North Carolina's 10 most beautiful woman. I don't put my business out there. I don't show what I have. I don't say what I make. I don't even put my husband out there. That's how private I am. But I listen to you guys. I like it. Laura's Live, I like it. And that's about it. You gotta watch Miss Curve. You gotta watch people on here. I've already had 2 of her friends that I met on TikTok that was scammed out of $20,000 just by meeting a man.
Oh my God!
In our age group, So please be careful, because the type of work I do. She sent it to me. She didn't want to let me know because it's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. And the type of work that I do, she sent it to me to do the band's background, and everything on TikTok was a lie. And I told her, I said, I wish you would have hit me up in the beginning and let me know on TikTok, send me a DM. At that point, I sent her my number personally. I said, because that is just disgusting. I talked to one of my friends that work for the FBI. I hooked her up with her. And so, yeah, TikTok got a lot of scammers of meeting women to just get your money.
I got some stories that I'm not willing to share, but I hear you.
Please be careful.
Yeah, y'all be careful. I'm telling, and this is for the men and the women. Any of them that are out here asking y'all for things, paying bills, sending y'all links, telling y'all, oh, I'm on a business meeting. That's a real popular one they use if they're out here pretending to be a businessman or a businesswoman. They'll say, I'm on a business meeting. I left my card at home, or I don't have this or that. Can you send me the money, or can you pay for this? That they get a lot of. Let me tell y'all this. Any of us that are in business, we always have at least one of our personal cards with us. On the business side, you're going to have a debit card, probably your Amex, and you're going to have a business credit card. And normally those of us that are in business too, something else, we normally going to keep some amount of cash. It may not be a lot of cash, but we're going to have enough cash to get our bus back home from wherever we went to. Mm-hmm. And typically we're buying round trip tickets, not a one way, out there on a wing and a prayer. So some of this stuff, when they're like, oh, I'm a business person, but I left this at home or that, baby, you better tell them to call their assistant. You better tell them to go to a Chase or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way around it. Don't send these people money. Do not do it, because they'll try. And another way that they'll bait y'all is they'll start off doing a lot of gifts and things like that to you. They'll do some things that will cost some money, and then slowly they'll start to turn it to where, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because now they've built up a trust with you. And you're like, oh, this person has money, they're fine. And then slowly but surely, oh, I left my wallet at home, or oh, I don't have my card. And you don't mind paying for it because they've already spent money on you. That's a common tactic that they will use as well. So y'all be careful, men and women. Y'all be careful on this app, because there are definitely scammers out here.
Yeah, that's something else, boy.
Okay.
Agreed. Don't get nobody nothing.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Nope.
Then definitely no cash apps.
Okay.
It's
Cancel
definitely
it.
no.
Close it.
Baby, they'll use that cash app to run havoc in your bank account. Don't you do it.
Don't you do it.
Don't
Cancel
do
it.
it. Okay. What you got going on, Raisin Buttercup? Raisin Buttercup probably like, Lord have mercy.
Everything's so good. I'm just eating it all up. I just want to give a shout out to Ashley. I was at your conference a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And when you guys are talking about networking on a certain vibration level, this is what I was talking about. Okay, I met so many people that I knew from this app actually that were my friends that I was with. I was like, oh my God, they're at the conference, and it was just a good camaraderie there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was about giving to one another. What can I do for you? How can I help you? How can I make your life better? So I just want to shout out to you. That conference was life-changing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next year.
Definitely. It was impactful, and I went because I'm in North Carolina. It was right in Charlotte. So, but I don't know where it's going to be next year, but it's definitely worth it.
We got a vote. I was supposed to put up the vote on Saturday, and I had to wait to get another report in. So I thought the cities were going to be Atlanta, Tampa, and Chicago for people to vote with, but it turns out it's actually Atlanta, Dallas, and Chicago are the three cities that people need to vote on. So I'll actually try and drop it tomorrow so y'all can vote, and then we can announce the city that Accelerate 2024 will be in. So yeah, so I was glad I waited. I was like, okay, I was about to put the wrong city out there. So
yeah, put Dallas for sure.
Yeah, it's in between
where I need to go
Dallas
vote
and
now.
Chicago. I have up a poll on TikTok, and I have a poll up on Instagram tomorrow, and so you guys will be able to vote, and we'll be able to pick what city. So y'all been talking y'all hope Dallas and Chicago.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I always for those of you that don't know.
I'm sorry, let me not forget that question you asked. I just want to drop this.
Yes.
No, she wouldn't have divorced him.
I don't think she would have divorced him either, Faith. If she did, I think it would have taken a long time. Yes, I don't have the confidence that y'all have in Shirley. I don't think she would have divorced him.
Hey, you know what? That's real too. That's very, very real. I was trying to find glass half full, but real though, no, because in the call she seemed very tied to him. So I can see that.
I'm telling y'all, rock bottom.
It would have been right.
Said I had to move in with my friends. That's what did it.
No, I'm gonna tell you why she wouldn't have. Because of the fact of the matter that her daughter and her grandchildren are victims of him, and that still didn't give her any pause. That still didn't make her think, wait a minute. She didn't seem to do a lot of investigation into that. She immediately, seemed to roll over on her daughter. She tried to keep her daughter from filing that restraining order. They seemed to be upset that the daughter went to the police and said what happened. Even after her daughter was listed as a victim, she still wrote a letter on Ernesto's behalf to see if the judge would let him come out.
That's very true.
And it just says something. I don't know, to me, it just says something about a woman who I could see, because I don't know her and her daughter's relationship, but it seemed like there would have been some type of investigation into what her daughter was saying was accurate or not.
Right.
And then I know one thing, like, I'm not gonna lie, when my sister had my nephew, my mom and daddy definitely love him more than they love us. He was like, people be feeling some type of way about their grandbabies. Okay.
Yes, they do.
People like, oh, they love their children. No, they love their grandbabies way more, more than they love their children.
Yep.
But
I think their relationship had to be some kind of strain, because she immediately just she was so delusional about it. When she said she doesn't hold her father accountable, but she wants to put all of these things on me. And I was like, what kind of relationship y'all got?
Yeah.
I just think she's like old school mentality. You stand by your man no matter what. And there were women, there were women in the church back in the day. They knew that some of those men were I'm trying to use my words carefully because I don't want to get banana. that they were unrighteous with the children. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
they knew this and they looked the other way.
Mm.
And the only time they ever said something is when it publicly came out. Then, because they were embarrassed within the community, they tried to make a shift and make a change. So she may have gotten rid of him eventually, but I feel like it would have been a long time. I feel like the public embarrassment and the public pressure is probably more what's making her make this decision.
Facts.
Because I noticed she didn't I thought y'all didn't think it was odd that she was like, it's been quite some time since I've spoken to him.
Still took up for him, didn't she?
Most of the time you would be like, oh, I ain't talked to him in a couple months. I ain't talked to him in 3 or 4. I ain't talked to I be paying attention, okay? I be paying. Don't let my southern accent fool y'all. I'm smarter than you. And even when all that stuff came out with Carly Russell, they tried to get my page. They tried to get my whole page removed because I was one of the first people to be like, "That girl is lying." And people like, what? And I was busting it down on folks. And then when it came out, we had some people that came back. There's like the Brick Girl. I was one of the only people, and some of y'all was upset with me. I told y'all something was off about Brick Girl or whatever. Yeah. I was like, her response ain't quite right. And if you just got into an altercation with a man, why would your instincts be to go and pick another fight with more men? That didn't make sense to me. Right. The fact that I didn't see any abrasions like on her face and stuff. I was just like, something about this is suspect. So there was women coming at me. Oh, you're problematic. And this, hey, baby, it is what it is. So when I look at the fact that Shirley didn't really, it didn't seem like she really investigated what her daughter was saying.
She just automatically dismissed it. And that's it kind of gave to me. Is that something that her daughter used to do or something? Like, Did she used to make up stories or what? Because it was like she just dismissed it, and that's some serious stuff,
right? It just seemed like it should have been a peek, into what was going on. And if she had the money to pay the attorneys, then that means I know you had the money to pay a private investigator to see what was going on. Because if I had a child, because we're not gonna act like some of these kids don't lie, they do. I would definitely probably hire an independent private investigator to see if I could figure out what was going on and who was telling the truth if I wasn't sure. But it was the grandbaby. It was the grandbabies that got me. It was one thing for you to feel some type of way about your daughter. Because like I said, I don't know the nature of their relationship. But when it comes to the grandbabies, y'all, I honestly, I don't know any grandparent that they're not willing to move a mountain for their grandchildren.
That is a fact. That's a damn fact. Right.
Yeah.
2 mountains.
I feel like she knew about some money because he had a barbershop that was doing pretty good, but it failed. And then he started doing security, but he was buying Hummers and 350s, and he bought her truck, and he was buying all this stuff. Like, where did you think this money was just coming from in a year's time?
Right.
And I feel like that's why she didn't tell Steve that car was in his business name. She was ashamed about that. She wanted people to think that was her car.
Right.
I don't know if I would have been ashamed about that, baby. I'd be bragging when Corey bought me stuff. I'd be like, look, my man bought me a fire. He bought me land.
Right. But I got me one ring. I don't know. I'm like, why you didn't tell him that?
I'd be like, my man. He got me a massage. I'd be like, look, y'all. I'd be like, he bought me a Ritz cracker. Like,
I cannot. But I'm here for it, though. I'm here for the energy. Not a Ritz cracker.
But I don't know. Something was weird about that. I'm like, Lord. Is she ashamed to say that it was his business name? To me, it just gave off that vibe.
No, because they could have been using Section 179. So, and it depends on how much the IRS was going to say that they owed. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of business owners, they'll do a car as a quick expense because the reality of the situation, like, would you rather have this new car or would you rather pay $100,000-$200,000 into the tax man? So that wasn't really odd to me that the car was like in his business's name. That wasn't odd to me because like I said, depending on how the business was set up and what the revenue model looked like, yeah. That wasn't really odd to me because you have a lot of business owners
Fell
that
off
do
with
that.
the barbershop though when she met him. He had a little coin.
I mean, he presented himself as a businessman. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You gotta be careful. You gotta see what's going on. You gotta be careful. I don't know. I mean, but he had that criminal record though when they got I know that.
Yes.
Ms. Curve has said today that he has a criminal record, but she wasn't asking any questions about this money. She knew something, money coming into your house.
Right.
Right. That's the part I don't get. What do you think the man getting in there?
And I'm gonna tell y'all what else I think she knew something. So they did have a property that had both of their names on it, and she quick deeded it just to her and out of his name before she sold it.
Right.
That was a few months before the crap hit the fan. So well, you know what? Maybe they had some other business project eventually. Let me not speak on that.
I don't know.
There could have
It's
been a
just weird,
multitude of
Shirley.
reasons why she did that, but yeah, baby. So I know y'all are like, oh, she would have divorced him. I think she would have been there. Stand by my man.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's her daughter, Sheridan? Is it Sheridan?
Yes,
Sheridan
Sheridan.
needs to write her a good book. Because people, inquiring minds would love to know.
Let's see. You just
There's
said
something ain't right about that.
You said no man can ruin her. Period, girl. I know you effing lying. Men and women ruin each other all the time.
Lord Jesus.
Get out here and hit your star to the wrong wagon. Then you get out here and you start having physical intimacy with somebody, and now all of these spirits and demons and everything else is all up in you. And then women have the spirit, baby. We got the power of multiplication, so we can multiply positive and negative things. Baby, you believe what you want to believe, honey, but proximity is real. And whenever you be out here getting it in with other people,
yeah.
Everybody don't deserve your energy, child.
That part. So that's fine. You may say no man can ruin her. Baby, I've seen men and women ruin a multitude of people. A multitude of people. Baby, I've seen people get into relationships and leave with bad credit, heartburn, and a patch of hair missing out the back of their head. Stop playing. Like it's real out here. Y'all, especially with women, when women get stressed out about men, they start losing hair in the back of their head. Tell me I'm lying. Y'all tell me I'm lying. They lose it at the back of their head, or they get a bald spot like right here in the top. I already know. I can look at good sister's head and tell if she happy in her relationship or if that man got her stressed out. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. Let me see what it looks like.
Lord Jesus.
If you got a bald spot up here or it's coming out back here, oh no, your man is stressing you out, baby. He just stress you out. He just stress you out to the point of no return. Stop playing with me.
Nesto.
Now, Braylon,
You should have ran when he said his name was Nesto.
Right, Braylon. What's the stress signs for a man? How we know a woman stressing a man out? What it look like?
Well, I mean, if he somehow can have other time for other things besides you, that's definitely a sign. If he is doing things out of his routine that you know is not him, that's another sign. But I think the biggest sign is if you can walk into your house and you sitting down on the couch and you feel something's off when you had that open vibe of communication. Those are the three signs. Now listen, I'm just 29. I'm still learning my damn self. But hell, you asked a question, I gave an answer. So
I'm gonna tell you what I noticed when an old player have a girl and she be stressing him out.
Right.
His forehead be real wrinkly.
You know what? Lord help.
His forehead get real wrinkly.
Oh, Lord.
And if he can grow a beard, he start getting a spotty beard. The beard start getting he be doing this all day.
Oh Lord
And
Jesus.
if he don't drink beer, he get a pregnant belly.
That belly. That's what I was gonna say.
Now, if he drink beer and he got a pregnant belly, that's just probably from the beer. But if he don't drink beer, he got that pregnant belly, baby. That woman is stressing him out. Don't let him have the wrinkly forehead and the pregnant belly.
Lord
Baby,
Jesus.
that man is at his wit's end. He is on the verge of having a nervous breakdown.
Lord Jesus.
But that Shirley just dumb as I don't know what. Even when she talking about her friend took her little plug on the clothing line, he said, "Yeah, I saw him exchange numbers."
Right.
Oh, you did? Yeah, what he did. Why he didn't tell you?
That part. I bet Ernesto, when he eat his Skittles, he probably shake them up in his hand like this. That's how you know a man a bad sign. If he take his Skittles, give the man some Skittles or something, M&Ms. He shake them around like that. He ain't nothing. Run.
Ain't nothing.
He finna ruin your life.
That's
Lord Jesus. Not on some Skittles, though.
Like, get some Skittles or some M&Ms and give them to your man, okay? If he eat them like regular, or he take it, all like that is good. But if he starts shaking them up like this, baby, he is over here shaking. He's shaking up destruction. He's shaking up a plan to destroy your life. You got to run.
Lord,
don't ever come back. Get him out your house. Don't have no more dinners. Don't let him be in the car. None. Baby, he got it right. He got a gambling spirit, is what it is.
Making them die.
Baby, he finna gamble with your life. Risking it all. If you give that man some peanuts, give him some Skittles, some M&Ms or something, he get to shaking them up like this. He is not the one. He is not. Move around. Move. You have been warned. Don't say your big cousin don't love you, okay?
For the streets.
Lord Jesus.
Cynthia said he's trying to figure out what color to hit you with. Okay, y'all. So look, I'm gonna do my best, okay, to do 2 streams tomorrow. So the first stream we got to talk about proper follow-up, okay? So we'll come in with a regular business stream. I'm gonna try and get on a little earlier in the morning. It'll be like before noon that we get that one done, okay? The second stream, I'm gonna come back in the evening. L'Oreal and Braylon, I would love to have you guys back on YouTube. Y'all are great. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with y'all.
Listen,
sometimes people get on here, they're a little stiff. Ain't they fun? YouTube.
Listen.
Y'all like the funnest people I've ever had on YouTube. I need y'all to
thank you. And plus we're from Arkansas, so I gotta connect with you anyway. So
so I'm gonna try and get back on maybe like around 7:30, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time tomorrow evening. And so we're gonna break down the Shirley Strawberry thing from a personal brand side. So that's what we're gonna go through. Faith, Raisin, Buttercup, Curve Appeal Apparel. I would love to have you back too if you would like to be here. Hopefully Auntie Pearl can come back. Yes, and anybody else that wants to come in the panel, pull up. Instagram land. I saw all y'all requests tonight. I just don't know why Instagram is not letting me pull people up. So I'm gonna go and update my app on the big iPad. That's one thing made my app isn't updated over there. So I update the app on the large iPad so we can all get in here and get it together out in these streets, okay? So we'll be back. So 2 tomorrow. So when y'all see me on the first time during the day, we're gonna be doing follow-up for all my business owners so we can turn our follow-ups into sales so y'all can close more deals. And then we'll come back on tonight and we'll talk some bit because and plus I need to listen to this latest phone call that's to drop since we've been on here. So we'll come back on and we'll talk about the personal branding of everything, okay? So y'all gonna see me online 2 times tomorrow, okay? 2 times. Call me 2-timey, okay? 2-timey. But I've had such a good time with y'all. Right? Did y'all enjoy this? Was this fun?
Yeah,
yes, this was fun.
Really nice.
This was a good time.
Really nice. I like it from a business standpoint.
Thank y'all for good. Baby,
people wasn't thinking about it. They weren't thinking about it like that. They was running saying, "Did you hear what they said about black bloggers?" I don't want to talk about this.
Lord
Look,
help.
I'm always coming from it from the business tea, because most of y'all that are in my audience are either side hustlers or y'all are full-time entrepreneurs. Some of y'all in the process of starting up businesses or brands. Y'all would like to be influencers for some of you guys. And then the rest of my audience, y'all normally come to me, because y'all like the mindset, kind of manifestation, mental toughness stuff that I teach. But I love, clearly y'all can tell from this, I love business. And I thought it was like really important to highlight to you guys what they were putting out there, how exactly they move. Because I'm telling y'all this, y'all can take some of this stuff and use it in your own business. Like, you don't have to wait till you're having a crisis. Even taking the strategy of creating like some type of other entity that you guys are fighting against or competing against, the humanization aspects, the different relatability touch points there are all these things that you can take to be able to use it to help you become successful in whatever it is that you're doing. So I like doing the business tea. Sometimes the business streets be real busy because I need to give y'all an update on the Bubba's barbecue stuff. And there's another one, all of the trader domain stuff. And then somebody was asking me to cover the G6 stuff. Look, I got to do some more research on G6. I do know that they're operating illegally in America right now. I do know that. I do know, I know that for a fact. Okay. That's not on speculation. I'm not quite sure though, like on the recruitment services side, what the breakdown is for that. And I know that there are a lot of very popular Black influencers, especially people that are popular on YouTube and Instagram, that are face people for G6. However, I'm not quite convinced that they're scammers. And I know y'all like, what? I don't think this is a case where I can come out and be like, they scam him, because I think that they have gotten scammed. And because they don't have backgrounds as like fiduciary agents or financial analysts and stuff like that, I don't think that I think that they were ignorant to the regulations in the United States. And I don't think that I don't think that they realized they partnered with a company that was out here operating as an illegal entity in the United States. So I know a lot of you guys asked me about the G6 thing, but that's why I haven't covered it yet, because I honestly don't think that a lot of the influencers that are involved in it, I really don't think that they know that they're involved in an illegal business. I know that sounds crazy to say, but I promise you, I don't think that they know. I don't think they know, because I know some of y'all like, what's up with G6? Because y'all to send it to me. That's what's up with G6. So I got to understand a little bit more of the breakdown on the model, and what the cash out is, or what's the price point that they're getting as they're recruiting, and what that actually looks like. But I'm pretty sure. I know for sure, because baby, if you don't know about it, don't even involve yourself in it, because you might get tempted, because the money that they're getting, the money is crazy that they're getting right now. I mean, crazy, insane. And I was offered not to do G6, but there's a trading platform that they wanted. They were like, hey, come fly to Dubai. We want you to be one of the faces of it in America, blah, 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 blah. I went and did my research, and I was like, that's a no. And they was offering, they offered me like 200 bands. I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all and think about it. I thought about it now. I thought about it. Somebody gonna
I'm not mad at it.
Baby, you fly me first class to Dubai like once a quarter for these trainings and exotic excursions and all that kind of stuff. Oh yes, I thought about it.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, I thought about it. But once I did the research, I like, oh no, dog, this is all the way bad. So anyway, I think that some of our popular people, I honestly think that they have fallen victim to what they thought was a great opportunity, and didn't realize that they're part of a illegal Ponzi scheme, MLM-ish type of situation.
Understood.
Yeah, because what they do is they take the money from G6 and they invest it into other investments. So there, y'all know how the SEC feels about foreigners taking U.S. money and then taking the U.S. money and investing it into other investments that are foreign. So anyway, it's a whole thing. it's a whole thing. So I know we gotta chit chat about that and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna try and get to get to a point where I'm doing business tea every Sunday, but we had to do Monday tonight because I had date night last night. You know what I'm saying? So, my man. I was like, I was like, okay. I was like, I'll talk about Shirley and her strawberries tomorrow, okay?
Listen, first things first, not mad at all.
I'm talking about these strawberries on Monday. Okay, it's like let me look at you. Okay, let me look at you. That's Miss Incredible said, do I do Snapchat? No, because it run down my battery too fast. I used to Snapchat and I just got tired of having to have a charger all the time. I don't know what it is about Snapchat, baby, but it burns my battery down to the ground. So I stopped Snapchatting. You said keep Shirley in your prayers. Yeah, that's fair. Keep her in the prayers, baby. Shirley gonna be okay. As long as Shirley is listening to Steve, Shirley is gonna be okay.
Yep.
What she did today was the beginning of an amazing transition. I'm telling y'all, Shirley gonna be able to come out with books. Shirley gonna be on the speaking tour. We're gonna see Shirley on Tamron Hall talking about how she lived in this nightmare, how she made it through. Other women that have been through something similar, they're gonna rally around her. It's gonna be a whole thing. I'm telling you, if Shirley. The only thing she does, I do believe, though, she needs to say something publicly about her daughter. Not a lot, just I love her, and I'm praying and hoping we can, weather this storm, or we can get to a place of resolve. That's all she. That's all she has to say.
She may say that later on this week. I think today was just kind of let this breathe. Honestly, now I'm not telling ABC what to do, but Judgment Tuesday with Judge Steve Harvey at 8/7 Central, then Strawberry Letter Court at 9/8 Central ABC. I'm just saying, and then I host the after show at 10/9 Central Live on ABC.
Come on now.
Just saying,
Braylon said, bring it out. All right, y'all. So first of all, thank you guys for helping me hit my live goals tonight. I appreciate. Let's see, last one right now, Transformational BF. Shout out to a transformational best friend. Let's see, Empowered to Live. Faith, thank you so much. Faith, you was balling on me tonight. Thank you, Faith. Shannon's World too. Thank you for all of the shares, all of the likes. Oh my God, look at that. We hit our like goal in YouTube. The like goal in YouTube was 175 and we're at 198. Thank you guys so much. That's exciting.
Awesome.
That's exciting. I need to go and turn on my monetization so y'all can start giving me super chats over here. Y'all be asking me. Or I need to at least put up a little Cash App tag or something. I appreciate you guys. I'll be honest, I'd rather y'all Cash App me, but see, I be scared of Cash App because they be hacking the Cash App. Maybe I set up a PayPal.me link or something for those of you that want to contribute to the platform in that way over there. Instagram land, thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all of my little badges that you guys sent to me as well. I appreciate it so much. If somebody feels compelled to send me a last little 2 hand hearts, go for it. That'll help me finish out, cash out my live goal over here in the TikTok streets. Thank you for all the roses, Faye. Thank you. What's the little NPC people? Thank you for the roses. So thank y'all so much for that. Thank y'all for all of the amazing commentary. Thank you, Tamicia. Thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you, girl. Thank y'all for all the amazing commentary. Thank you for the panelists. Thank you, Braylon, L'Oreal, Faith, Raisin, Buttercup, Curve, Apparel. Queen T was up here earlier, and Auntie Pearl was up here earlier. Thank you for the flowers, Lady O. Thank you guys so much. So remember, y'all will see me on 2 times tomorrow, earlier in the morning. We're going to be covering follow-up and turning that into cash so you can have a stronger close rate. Then you'll see me back sometime around 7:30, 8:30 Central Standard Time. And that's when we'll come back and we're going to talk about Shirley Strawberry and her brand. Y'all go over to phone calls from prison if y'all want to get caught up on the calls, because I believe they dropped another call since we were on here. And I know a lot of the bloggers definitely feel personally attacked by Steve Harvey. So I know they rolling out all kinds of content tonight. Okay. So we're gonna have a good time breaking down the branding aspect.
Hey Ashley, one quick question. Do you want me to DM you on Instagram tomorrow? Because I know you probably about head to bed now. So just DM you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Send it to
Okay.
me. I'm ready.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on the planet Earth. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. If it's morning time or daytime where you are, have a productive and a prosperous day. If it's evening time, get yourself a good night's rest. Until tomorrow, love y'all. Everybody sleep tight. See y'all
All right,
later.
much love, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You're welcome. Thank y'all. Bye, you guys. Oh.